Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, I want to talk about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Um, this one was inspired by somebody in the comment section, and I wish I could bring that comment up, but I wasn't even thinking about bringing the comment up, man. So my apologies. You know who you is when you see that, or you know who you are when you see this. But it was someone based on a video I did. I think I posted yesterday, and I think it was talking about LeBron some type of way. And I think the person that commented said something about if Michael Jordan had did what LeBron did, you know, he would have landed. He would have ended up with this XYZ type player. And I was like, nah, it would have been this player, and that player based on how LeBron did it. And we chuckled. We had to laugh about it. And it got me to thinking. I was like, you know what? I've did that in my head before. I've done it in my head. Like, what if Michael Jordan team hop, you know, in his sixth season like LeBron did, or his seventh season like LeBron did, and decided to go and join with some superstars, you know, form a big three, form a super team, and then see how many rings they can get, and then continue that process with other teams like LeBron did. And I was like, man, I wonder what that would look like. And I was just throwing stuff in my head around, but I never sat down and like went through it and was like, this is how that would look if Michael Jordan did that. But we go do it. We go do it tonight, y'all. We go do it right now, man. So I see K Soprano in there. What's up? Salute. Mysterious Black in there. Salute. 6'4" Slim. What's up, big dog? One of my members. Salute. We got a couple of people in the chat so far. I'm waiting on a couple of my moderators to jump in and let me know they in here. While I'm waiting on them, y'all let me know who in here, man. Drop a comment in here. Let me know where y'all from. Jeff, that's what I'm saying. My dog, man. Jeff, I can always count on Jeff, man. What's up, Jeff? Hey, Jeff, you gonna like this one, man. You probably gonna be the first one to call in, man. You probably gonna be the first one to call on this. I think you gonna like this one. It's gonna be fun though. You know, I ain't throwing no shade at LeBron and that like that. I'm just, what's up, Greg? I'm just I'm just throwing some little stuff out there, man. Young Disciple, what's up, big dog? What did LeBron do to y'all? LeBron ain't do nothing to me, man. I'm just trying to do a comparison. I want to see what it would look like. North Memphis. Travis said North Memphis. North in the house. I'm here for this. Yeah. But look, I still want to talk about what Joker did last night with his 55 points, his double nickel. In 3 quarters, him being leading his team to the third best record in the league right now behind Detroit and the defending champions OKC. I want to talk about what OKC did as well, and what Luka did not do. And then I think I want to talk about Golden State as well. Right. So right hand cam in the house. World Breaker. What's up? We in here. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get started, y'all. As a matter of fact, everybody make sure y'all hit the like button really quick. James Pierre, what's up, man? Salute. Everybody hit the like button real quick so we get started, and hit the share button, man. Send this to somebody, man, because I think y'all gonna want people in here for this one, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Y'all gonna want people in here for this one. Let me I gotta do one more thing really quick. So one thing I forgot to do, and dang it. All right, I'll do it later. Hopefully I can find some time to do it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get Joker 55 is better than Michael Jordan's 55 versus his Nick. I mean, maybe. Honestly, when I was watching Michael Jordan with that 55 points in Madison Square Garden, it still seemed like he was a little rusty. He still was wearing 45. Fresh off of baseball, and I think his first game might have been against the Pacers and Reggie Miller. They might have lost that game. I was like, dang, I ain't expect Mike to lose that game. And he was just rusty. He was rusty. Like he was, his timing was a little off, man. And, his pull-up jumper wasn't as automatic as it was the next season. So watching that double nickel with the Knicks, it never felt like quite like Michael Jordan. I think a lot of the basketball world kind of gassed it a little bit because I'm sitting at home watching it live, and I'm like, man, he putting up points, man. But this dude jacking some shots, man, and it just wasn't automatic. And then he'll go through a little stretch where he looked good, and then he'll go through a stretch where he didn't look all that good. But he was putting the points up. He was entertaining, but it wasn't like it was the next season when he came back. The next season when he came back, it was a whole different Mike. So I'm with you on that world breaker. You could say that. You could say Jokic just look better. I do know, and we'll talk about it when we get to it, but I do know, and Ty Lue kind of confirmed this because he said it in the post game, but I wasn't watching that game. I was watching the Lakers play OKC. And when I looked at the stat line, I seen that he had 25 in the first quarter. And then when I looked at how many assists he had, I think it might have been 2. He had 25 points and two assists. I knew automatically that the game plan for the Clippers was to not double Jokic. So Jokic did what he was supposed to do. If y'all not going to double, I'm a shoot. And I'm glad that he did that. And I like to see that from Jokic. I like my best player scoring and being unstoppable more than I like him trying to do a little bit of scoring and a lot of passing. You get what I'm saying? Like, when he do those 15 points, 18 assist games, I'm really not a big fan of that. Because I think Jokic could give you 30 every night, and I think Jamal Murray is more than capable of running the point guard and handling the distribution and an assist. Jokic, you get his assist based on whenever he get doubled in the post. But, Jokic getting the rebound, going coast to coast like a point forward. Jokic getting the ball at the top of the key and calling for a screen and using it like he a guard. Like, those things I'm not a big fan of. So I enjoyed what I seen from Jokic last night more than what I usually enjoy. Oh man, Dante, hey, we're gonna talk about the Lakers for sure. We're gonna talk about the Lakers, and I think I got some footage for the Lakers. So yeah, we definitely gonna talk about them. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. So I was thinking about a couple of things, and I wanted to know if you switch Michael Jordan's career and he played what I think LeBron is at year 21, 22 right now. If Michael Jordan decided to play 21 years, no retirement to go play baseball, no second retirement, and then coming back and playing with the Wizards. If he just played 21 straight years and team hop like LeBron did, his first 7 years was Cleveland. He couldn't get a ring in Cleveland, so he team hopped to Miami, did 4 years with Miami with a super team. Got 2 rings out of those 4, team hopped back to Cleveland, did 4 years there with a French super team with K-Love, Kyrie, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, those guys. Did 4 years with those guys. 3 with Kyrie because he left and went to Boston, but 4 with the rest of them. Left Cleveland, went to L.A., and I think this is his 7th or 8th year in L.A. And he had some rosters on that as well. And I'm trying to think what that would look like if Michael Jordan did it in his time. And I'm gonna show y'all what it would look like. And I want y'all to let me know how many rings. We're gonna count how many rings we think Mike would get if he took LeBron's route. And then I want you, I'll probably tomorrow come back in here and we'll swap it and do LeBron and say, let's say if LeBron stayed in Cleveland the whole time instead of team hopping like Jordan stayed in Chicago, how many rings does he get there? And then he retires for 2 years and come back, play 3 more years with Cleveland, and then retire again, and then come back and then play for the Wizards, and he retired 15 years, right? So how many rings does LeBron get if he takes Jordan's path? How many rings does Mike get if he take LeBron's path, right? Y'all ready for that? Y'all want to do that? All right, so let's go ahead and go to it, right? A couple of things that was kind of similar. I'm gonna throw this on the screen. This is year 7 for both of those guys. The ages are different because Jordan came from Carolina and did 2-3 years at Carolina, and LeBron came out of high school. So I'm gonna do it by years, not by age. But year 7 for Mike is the year that he won his first championship. Year 7 for LeBron was the year that I think he got put out in the second round by Dwight in Orlando, right? Maybe it was Boston. I can't remember. I know Boston put him out 1 year and Orlando put him out 1 year. This one might have been Orlando. Yeah, I think this one might have been Orlando. So year 7 is when LeBron got put out by Orlando, and then he left and said, I'm going to join D Wade and Bosh in Miami. Right. So he did 7 years in Cleveland, couldn't get a ring, left after his 7th year. Well, obviously, Michael Jordan, we got to start his the year before at year 6, because obviously if he won the championship at year 7, he wouldn't jump ship and go join forces somewhere. So let's go back to year 6. Here's Michael Jordan's year 6. Let's say at year 6, Michael Jordan said, man, I can't get past the Pistons, but he know that he lost in the semifinal, in the conference finals to the Pistons again. And let's say Michael Jordan said, man, I'm tired of this. I got to catch Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. They got so many rings, now I got 0. I'm tired of not winning. I need to get a ring. And I want to go and join Charles Barkley and Olajuwon. The reason why I picked Charles Barkley and Olajuwon is because if you look at what LeBron did, he went and joined 2 other guys from his draft class that was in the top 5 of the draft. So if you look on the left, you see LeBron, pick number 1. You see Chris Bosh, 4, and Dwayne Wade, 5. 3 guys from the same draft class, which is important because that means they're similar in age. They hit their prime around the same time, so it's not like, one vet and one young buck that I'm trying to drag along with me. These are 3 guys that are hitting their prime at the same time and ready to get a ring. Wade already got one, but they're ready to get a ring. So they join forces. On the right, you see the top 5. You see Hakeem, you see Jordan, you see Charles Barkley. So if Michael Jordan would have done what LeBron James did, he would have went to let's say he goes to Houston to join Hakeem, and then he convinces his best friend Charles Barkley, just like LeBron, Wade, and Bosh were all friends, banana boat friends. He convinces his friend to join forces with him in Houston with Hakeem. Right? So you got Hakeem, you got Mike, and you got Charles Barkley. First and foremost, probably one of the best defensive players from a big man perspective was Hakeem, and then Mike was probably one of the best defenders from a wing perspective. And then they also were both elite scorers as well. And then you throw Barkley in there with it. That's insane, right? Right? That's insane. That's insane. Are y'all with me on that one so far? Like how? So and listen, and they played 4 years. LeBron James played 4 years with Wade and Bosh. He got to the finals. I want to say he got there all 4 years. They lost to Dallas the first one. Then they won the second one, won the third one, and then lost to San Antonio in the fourth one. So 4 years of a king, Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley in Houston. Y'all put in the chat how many rings you think they're getting in 4 years in the 90s. Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Let's count it, y'all. Let's count the rings and be realistic. Be realistic. Think about all the other rosters. Think about all the other players. Jeffrey said 4 rings. Albert said 3 rings. G Nation said 4 rings. I just can't fathom it, man. 4. I keep saying 4. Somebody said 8 rings in 4 years. 4 years, 4 years. People keep saying 4. I keep saying 4, 4, 4. Okay, so I'm gonna put 4, y'all. I'm gonna say they go get 4 rings. Don't even hold on. I'm not even done. Because remember when LeBron got there and they lost to Dallas, he said we didn't have enough. We was top heavy. We needed to mellow the roster out. Now, I'm not going to go all the way down the roster and try to find an equivalent, but I am going to find an equivalent for Ray Allen, right? Ray Allen left Boston. The year, as a matter of fact, let me throw Ray Allen's stuff up there, right? If you look at the highlight at the bottom, Ray Allen, the last year he was at Boston, was averaging 14 points, right? The year before that, he was an all-star. So Ray Allen still had a lot left in the tank, even though his age was whatever it was. But they picked up a 14-point game scorer who was also the best shooter in the league, and was able to use him as a six man on the bench. Hey, just throw him on the bench, right? So I wanted to find if I could find someone that was a guard that I could, find that, was averaging about 14, 15 points a game and throw on the bench with this roster. And I went down a list of the people that was available back then. And I ran across Alvin Robertson, a great defender. He was also, he could score some points, good point guard. How y'all feel about Alvin Robertson? Or do y'all want the shooter and athlete Byron Scott from LA? You know what I mean? Which one y'all? I mean, because the way they took Ray Allen from Boston, at which Boston was still a competitor and a rival of that Miami Heat team, and LeBron is personally there was a rival of LeBron. They grabbed Ray Allen from a competitor. So I wonder if Mike would grab Byron Scott from Magic at that time, or would he grab Alvin Robertson? Which one y'all think will be good coming off the bench with the big three of Charles Barkley and Hakeem Olajuwon? You want Alvin Robertson or you want Byron Scott? Though that's what I'm getting. Legend said Byron Scott. Grab Byron. They said Byron. All right, so a team of Magic, Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and they in their prime too, and Charles Barkley, and y'all said Byron Scott. So we grabbed Byron Scott to replace Ray Allen, and we somebody said Alvin instead. Mysterious Black said Alvin. So y'all still saying 4 rings? Would it be easy to build around that? Y'all think it'd be easy? So y'all saying 4 rings, right? So boom, we already got that. 4 rings for the big three of Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, with Byron Scott coming off the bench. You got 4 rings in 4 years. But Michael Jordan wasn't stopping there. He looked at Charles Barkley and was like, shoot, Charles Barkley back bad. He looked at Hakeem and was like, man, I want to try something different. Let me go ahead and roll out, right? So what did LeBron do after? No phone calls yet, y'all. What did LeBron do after he got the 4 rings with the Miami Heat? He left. He went back to Cleveland. And he looked over and he seen the number 1 draft pick in Kyrie Irving in Cleveland. He had already been there for 2 years, maybe 3 years. I think Kyrie did 3 years without LeBron. I can't remember, 2 or 3. He looked over at the number 1 draft pick and was like, oh, I can go over there and the same exact thing I did here, I can do over there. I can go over there. I got a dominant scorer in Kyrie like I had a dominant scorer in Wade. Then I can go and find someone that fit us that's a big man, that's a shooter like Chris Bosh. I can get them to trade for Kevin Love. And then be my Ray Allen off the bench, I can go get J.R. Smith. So what would that look like for Michael Jordan? If you see the roster right here, you see Kyrie, LeBron, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith. Right? That was basically the top 4. So Michael Jordan would look, and I'm trying to think of a player who 3 years before was the rookie of the year and the number 1 draft pick, that was on a team that wasn't winning at the time, that Michael Jordan can look at and say, oh, I can go over there and turn that squad around. You know who fit that bill, who the number 1 draft pick 3 years prior was, that was going into his 4th year, that was rookie of the year, and that was a superstar? You know who that was? It was Chris Webber. Now we got a choice here. It could be Chris Webber. It could be Penny Hardaway. If we wanted to keep it with a guard, a point guard, like LeBron did with Kyrie as a point guard, I could easily make it Penny Hardaway. But Shaq was already in Orlando, so that wouldn't work, right? So I'm gonna go with the number 1 draft pick who won Rookie of the Year, Chris Webber. He was with the Bullets at that time. So Michael Jordan would look over. He would be in Houston and say, I want to change the scenery here. Look over there at Washington and say, I see Chris Webber, the number 1 draft pick. He's younger. He's younger than Hakeem. He's younger than Barkley. He's up and coming. The contract over there, he's still on a rookie contract, so I can go over there and make big bucks and make a trade for another vet. And I can have the same thing I had in Houston, but younger. And I can ring chase with those guys, right? So he go over to the Wizards out of free agency, join forces with Chris Webber, but then you got to make that trade for Kevin Love. So what was Kevin Love? I just want to show you Chris Webber was also Rookie of the Year that year, just like Kyrie Irving was. But if you look at Love, if you look at Kevin Love, his last year in Minnesota, he averaged 26 points a game. And he was in his, what year is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He did 6 years in Minnesota before he came to Cleveland. The last year he was in Minnesota, he was averaging 26 points, 10 rebounds. Second team All-NBA, All-Star. He got MVP votes. That's a nice vet to go grab, right? Who matches those years? The same exact years as Kevin Love. And if you go look at it, guess who it was? Because if you look at it, Kevin Love was, 6 years in before he came to Cleveland, right? Who was 6 years in at that time? Gary Payton. So not only would Michael Jordan go to Washington to join forces with Chris Webber, he would then force them to trade for Gary Payton to form his big three. So it's now Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, a crucial defensive backcourt. And he can also give you some points as well. And Chris Webber was unstoppable in the post as well. So you getting points there. And he also was a good defender. You cooking with hot grease right there. But that's not it. Because they trade for J.R. Smith later on after that as well. And J.R. Smith was in the draft. What draft was J.R. Smith in? At that time, the years that match up with J.R. Smith is the same years that match up with Joe Dumars at that time. So not only do you have Gary Payton and Michael Jordan and C-Webb, you get to have Joe Dumars come off your bench. Or you can throw him in the starting lineup, however you want to do it. So a team, and they had that for 4 years. A team of Chris Webber. Well, they didn't have him for 4 years. He had Chris Webber for 3 years, and he left because Chris Webber is filling the Kyrie Irving slot. So you got Chris Webber for 3 years, and then Chris Webber left, and then you got Peyton and Joe Dumars for 4 years. So with a team of Dumars, Peyton, C-Webb, and Michael Jordan for 3 years, how many rings are they getting, y'all? Throw it in the chat. How many rings they getting? With the Washington Bullets, Michael Jordan, Chris Webber, Gary Payton, Joe Dumars, how many rings? I see 3. I see another 3. What else? Anybody got less than 3? I'm saying 3. 3. Some Bruiser said 0. 3. 2. Minimum if injuries. Zoe said 3. 2. 2. 3. I'm gonna go with 2, y'all. I'm gonna be modest. I'm gonna go with 2. So they get 2 rings in Washington. So Michael Jordan has 6 rings. With team hopping, he still gets 6 rings, but he not done yet. He not done yet. He not done team hopping, because now that C-Webb left, he's like, man, shoot, I don't think I can win no more with Peyton and Dumars. I want to go to LA. right? So he says, man, I want to go to LA, dog. I want to get some of that daggone Cali love. See what's going on in LA, dog. You know what I mean? So uh LeBron James at that time, when he goes to LA, he does a year there with the young kids, and then he forces a trade for Anthony Davis, right? Anthony Davis, one of the top premier big men, probably the best big man in the league at that time. It was probably Anthony Davis, maybe DeMarcus Cousins was in there, maybe Joel Embiid was up and coming. But for the most part, Anthony Davis probably was the best big man in the league when the Lakers traded for him, right? So if you match the years of Anthony Davis or when he came in the league, based on this timeline that we're following, you know who would have been the guy that Michael Jordan would have forced a trade to come to LA with? It would have been Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett matches those years of Anthony Davis, right? Kevin Garnett would have been forced to LA to join Michael Jordan in his second season there, right? So it would have been Michael Jordan and Kevin Garnett, a young Kevin Garnett. But that wasn't the only person that came to LA with LeBron. Dwight Howard also came. Dwight Howard was in the draft the year after LeBron. So is that another premier center or big man that came in the draft a year after Michael Jordan that would also come over there to help him in LA with Garnett? And when you look at the draft after Michael Jordan, the big man is Patrick Ewing. So we have Kevin Garnett, a young buck, Michael Jordan, the GOAT, and Patrick Ewing. And you got that for, let's say you got that for 2 years. And then Patrick Ewing, which is Dwight Howard, he leaves, and it's just you and Garnett for a little while. But after Patrick Ewing leaves, you get Carmelo Anthony in LA. So Carmelo Anthony was in the same draft with LeBron James. So who was in the same draft with Michael Jordan that he could have added to help him and Garnett out? And it's not Barkley, because we already used Barkley in the first scenario, right? So we already went through Bosh and Wade. So who would be equivalent to Carmelo Anthony? Who was another guy that ended up being Hall of Fame in Michael Jordan's draft? And it would have been John Stockton. So you get Michael Jordan, Garnett, and Ewing for 2 years. And then Garnett leaves. And then you get John Stockton there to help you for another 2 years. I think Melo was there for 2 years. So you get 2 years of MJ, Garnett, Ewing, and 2 years of NJ, Garnett, John Stockton. And then, you get another 2 years of just MJ and Garnett, because he was there for 6 years in LA before Luka came, right? So MJ, Garnett, and Ewing for 2 years in LA. MJ, Garnett, and Stockton for another 2 years in LA. And then MJ and Garnett, just them two, for 2 more years in LA. That's 6 years. How many rings is Michael Jordan, Garnett, Ewing, Stockton, and the combination I just said? How many rings are they getting in LA? How many rings out of those 6 years? 3. They said Nick said 3 easy. 3 out of 6. Okay, 3 easy. I go with 3. So now Michael Jordan has 9 rings. Somebody said 4 rings. Somebody said 5. Now Michael Jordan has 5 rings, y'all. Right, but that's not it. Right, that's not it. We ain't even talk about how many points he's scoring. He played 21 years, no retirement. We ain't even talking about how many points Michael Jordan did. He done passed Kareem a long time ago. He done been past Kareem. So he passed Kareem and get 9 rings is insane. Team hopping would have been too easy for Michael Jordan. Team hopping? Somebody said he would have had 100,000 points. Dog, team hopping is easy. And not only are you team hopping, you cherry picking teammates. Oh man, you not drafting a rookie and you don't know what you're gonna get from them, and you gotta build them up. I'm talking about you looking across the room and saying a superstar that I can win with. Bring them here. Somebody already established, already proven they can be a superstar and carry a team. You're joining them, not drafting someone that we don't know what they're gonna be. You're joining superstars. That would have been too easy for MJ. So he get 4 in Houston, he get 2 with the Wizards, he get 3 with the Lakers, and then that's not it, right? Because just like Anthony Davis got traded for Luka, who was a star, right? A superstar in his own right. And now you're on the last leg of your career, and hey, look, man, we gotta bring someone in that's gonna replace you when you retire, but you're gonna get to play with him for a couple of years before you retire. Maybe you get another ring. Y'all ain't gonna believe the years, like if the year, because at this point, Luka's been in the league before when he got traded to the Lakers and he was on his 6th season. You're not gonna believe who the person is that matches those years that Garnett is going to get traded for. I want y'all to guess who this player is that Michael Jordan gets to trade Garnett for. I mean, the year, like it's full circle. You would not even believe that it worked out like this, dog. You would not even believe it worked out like this. But the way the years is with Luka, a player that done played 6 years in the league, Garnett would have got traded for LeBron James, y'all. so LeBron, they would have traded Garnett for LeBron, and LeBron would have been playing with Michael Jordan and ready to take over when Michael Jordan retired, y'all. Can you believe that? Like, can you believe that? There's no way that this stuff is supposed to add up like that. It comes back full circle. LeBron James would have been able to play with his idol, the GOAT. And if LeBron would have came in the middle of the season with Michael Jordan, traded for Garnett, and it was Jordan in his old age, let's say what Jordan looked like with the Wizards, and LeBron James in his 7th season. LeBron James in his 7th season with Michael Jordan, Wizards Michael Jordan, on a Lakers squad. I'm gonna say 0 rings with that. I don't think they get a ring with that. But I think Michael Jordan just too old. So I'm gonna say 0 rings with that. But Michael Jordan would have been playing for a while, and I think this is where he stat pads like LeBron is stat padding, and he just destroys Kareem's record. I think he gets Kareem record, way early. He gets Kareem record way early. You know what I mean? But he just be destroying the record books right now. Just scoring a lot of points. He got LeBron. LeBron would have been able to learn from him. I say 0 rings with the duo of old Mike and young LeBron. No rings there. Do y'all think they get rings, Mike and LeBron? 0 rings? Yeah, Zoe said 0 rings. 0 rings. Jordan wouldn't have been rusty and average 26 easy. Yeah. I'm say that. No, LeBron wouldn't be LeBron. He would be Kobe with Shaq. All right. That's how. Listen, I just wanted to have fun with that, but now I'm gonna open the phone lines up, and I'm gonna let y'all call in and tell me what y'all think. So Michael Jordan retires with the record, with Kareem's record, and 9 rings by team hopping. Michael Jordan retires with Kareem's record and 9 rings if he team hop. Phone number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen, 442-288-9352. Call in, man. Let me know what y'all think about this hypothetical of MJ team hopping. This is only if his heart pumped Kool-Aid like LeBron and he wanted to run from the grind. Like it'd be hard to, like, what made Michael Jordan and the killer that he was, like, it don't match that he would team hop. Like he just wasn't that type of competitor. So I like, if he's team hopping, then that means that he probably don't have the heart that we know Michael Jordan to have. So it's a horrible hypothetical to even play with right now. But in a crazy world where you could pump Kool-Aid in your heart and team and had a killer instinct that Mike did. I'm curious to hear what y'all think about it. All right, caller, what's up, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, you already know who it is, man. It's your boy, the #1 basketball fan ever to live, man. The world breaker, man. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you like them 9 rings?
I'm not gonna lie. I think this topic just showed me LeBron to go. LeBron is so GOAT. It's so great. Y'all gotta pretend this stuff happened to give Michael Jordan a chance in the GOAT debate. This whole thing was cute and all that. But come on now.
Why don't LeBron have 9 rings with all his team hopping and all these superstars he played with?
Because LeBron played better competition than MJ. But anyway, why I would call in, I want to throw something in there though, just to see what you think.
All right.
I think you should consider the narratives at the time in their career. Michael Jordan was already put in the GOAT debate before he won championships, so he wasn't in pressure to team hop and try to do everything he could to win the championship. Versus LeBron in his 6-7 year, when he was dominating the league, the main thing about him was, oh, well, Brian, you need to get a championship. You need to get a championship. He got 4 rings, and we still won't put him in the GOAT debate, or some people try not to. Michael Jordan had 0 and was considered the GOAT. Do you think that changes things for Mike if he was in LeBron's situation?
No, because he was in LeBron's situation. I mean, he had to look at what Bird and Magic did. Magic had what, 5?
But before the 90s, he was already put in the GOAT debate.
Hold on, Magic had 5, Bird had 3, Kareem had 6, Russell had however many he had, 11, right? So he was already lit. Dr. J was already like when we seen Dr. J, those was big shoes to fill. So Mike was looking at people that had accomplishments and also had clout and big shoes to fill, and was like, man, I got to live up to that. So yes, he did have that. And he lived.
But they put him in the GOAT debate, though. They said this might be the greatest player we ever seen before the 90s came.
Right. Key words. This might be the greatest player we ever seen, which means
when we wasn't saying that about LeBron.
Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. You got Bill Russell, who won 11, but we had people that came after Russell, and we had people that played against Russell, like Wilt, that was a better player than him. Right. So no one was saying Russell was the greatest player we ever seen. They were saying Wilt was. And then comes Kareem, and we were like, oh, shoot, Kareem might be the greatest player we ever seen. Then we seen Bird and Magic, and we was like, oh, shoot, they might be the greatest player. And then Jordan came and was like, oh, no, this is it. This is the best we've ever seen. Notice the words, the key words, the best we've ever seen. Not the greatest winner. They said this is the best we've ever seen. So he was on GOAT.
Was we saying that about LeBron though?
No, because
in his 7 years.
Listen to what I just laid out. From Russell to Wilt to Kareem to Bird and Magic, the players got better. And then when it got to Mike, that was the top player we've ever seen. And then after Mike, we haven't seen no one as good as him except Kobe. LeBron didn't reach neither one of the no. Listen to what I'm saying, Reward Breaker. No one said LeBron is the greatest player we ever seen. Mike is still the greatest we ever seen. Like, we watch and say, man, no flaws, like not just his basketball skill, his mentality didn't have flaws, his heart didn't have flaws, his drive, his work ethic. There was literally hardly no flaws you could find except his 34% free 3-point shooting. And that's not even a flaw. That's just average. He's an average 3-point shooter. His flaw is being average at something. Everything else was pristine. It even looked good the way he played. It was aesthetically pleasing as well. Like he had it, he had it all, and then he went and proved it on paper with his resume and was like, oh yeah, and that confirms it. Like, we watched the best player. Like, if we seen the best player, I was like, that's the best player I've ever seen, but he never won. Then you got to second guess yourself and was like, wait, how's my eyes fooling me? Like, he looks like the best, but he can't win. Why? And then you have to start doing a deep dive to figure out why. Right? Kevin Durant looks like one of the best we ever seen. Why is it so hard to win? And you have to reconcile that and find out why he's not winning so easy. It's a whole different ball game with that. I don't even want to bring it up, but back to Michael Jordan, that didn't happen. When we say he's the best we've ever seen, and then we watch his career, he went and proved that our eyes was telling us the truth. That makes sense?
It makes sense to a degree, but this is my thing though. Y'all was saying that before he won anything.
I don't know about y'all. Listen, you don't have to win nothing to be the greatest we've seen, the best we've seen. You just the best player. You don't have to win it to be the best player.
He was in the GOAT debate before the 90s, though. Like, but
Wordbreaker, there was no GOAT debate.
That's not what Scottie Pippen said.
There was no GOAT debate, Wordbreaker.
How come Scottie said I never heard of a GOAT until the 90s?
Early 90s. That's why it's how's it a debate if the GOAT don't exist? The GOAT, the word GOAT didn't exist.
Yeah, until Michael Jordan, right?
Until LL Cool J.
Until Michael Jordan, right?
No, into LL Cool J. LL Cool J is the one who made that popular. He made that popular.
Okay, well, I'll say this. I will say this. If LeBron wasn't put, and I think we can at least agree on this, LeBron was put on more pressure to win in year 7 than Michael Jordan was.
Every player that is the face of the league has the same pressure on them. Go win. You can't bail him out by saying he had pressure and then say this is the reason why he didn't live up to whatever he didn't live up to. He got 4 rings.
No, I ain't saying. I'm just saying at year 7, LeBron definitely had more pressure to win than Michael Jordan. Like it's not even the man got down there 4-5 rings, and y'all still won't even put him in the top 5.
Yeah,
but
we just went down the list and said if someone like Michael Jordan team hopped the way LeBron did, he would have 9 rings, and that's being modest. That's being modest.
But he didn't have to team hop because he was already being respected as one of the greatest players before he won anything. LeBron didn't get that.
LeBron, hold on.
Y'all make LeBron work 10 times harder.
No. Word breaker.
To get his props.
LeBron won 2 straight MVPs in Cleveland. He was getting his props. He was considered the best player in the league. He was getting his props. Oh well,
y'all wasn't putting him in the GOAT debate. Y'all kept saying he not the GOAT because he don't got 6 like Jordan.
No,
when Jordan had 0.
They didn't put him in the GOAT debate because he wasn't as good as Michael Jordan. And we noticed that when he first got exposed by San Antonio in the finals. But we let that slide, and then he went to Miami and got exposed again in Dallas. And then that's when the GOAT debate was over. Like, no, Michael Jordan. Like we see all the flaws in LeBron's game. You back off this dude and give him the jump shot, and you can sweep him in the finals. It don't matter if it's him in Cleveland or him with a super team in Miami. You getting whooped because you can't shoot, and you average that. What was he averaging? 19 points in the finals. Just because he couldn't shoot the jump shot, and then he couldn't go in the post and score. Like that, he got exposed, and this is year 8 LeBron with a super team, and couldn't beat Dirk. So yes, when you observe his game and observe Mike's game, the GOAT debate is over once we figure out that you're not as good as Mike. So next, in Kobe's situation, he was very very closer than any other player that we've ever seen to Mike. So his GOAT debate would make more sense, but the only reason why it doesn't is because his paper resume doesn't match up to Mike's because he came in and had to play 5 years with Shaq. And people tax him for winning 3 with Shaq and act like those 3 don't count.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, so on paper, Kobe Bryant, he can't compete with Michael Jordan. But as a player,
can't compete with LeBron either.
But as a player, he's head and shoulders above LeBron, and as a player, he's standing neck and neck with the GOAT. So as a player, Kobe is up there. On paper, he's not. On paper, LeBron is up there because he team hopped and cheated the system. You smell what I'm cooking?
I feel you, but at the same time, I don't, because like they just came in different circumstances. And I just can't. It's hard for me to imagine that.
Yeah, but you gotta take
It's hard
you
for
gotta
me.
you gotta take that up with the basketball guys. They chose MJ. They didn't choose LeBron.
Oh no, LeBron already chose. Y'all just can't get over it. Y'all still talking about stuff that happened 30 to 40 years ago. That's how great LeBron is. I gotta bring us stuff that happened in what we talking about? 1990s, the 1980s, and it's what time? What is it? It's 2026. Y'all gotta move on, Mel. I'm sorry.
Hey,
how many of your teams Michael Jordan beat in the finals? That's better than the Warriors with 73 wins. That's better than Kevin Durant with the Warriors.
How many teams LeBron? How many
teams?
Hold on, Warburger. How many
Michael Jordan faced?
How many teams?
Better than the Spurs?
Wait, hold on, Warburger. You talking about who LeBron played against? It's not about how good the team is you played against. It's about how evenly matched the team that you were on versus the team you played against. So you're talking about how good Golden State or San Antonio was. How good was the teams that LeBron had? Like if you look if you look at Michael Jordan, if you look at Michael Jordan, his second best player was Scottie Pippen, who never gave him more than 22 points a game.
But they're not playing against the same people though.
Listen to what I'm saying. So the people on his team, his third best player was a defender rebounder and Rodman, who he got when he was 35, 36 years old already. So he was past his prime, right?
Right.
LeBron has had players like Rodman on his team at 35, 34 years old that he couldn't do nothing with. His name was Ben Wallace. So when LeBron had Ben Wallace, he looked like trash. When LeBron had Shaq, he looked like trash. When LeBron had Antoine Jameson.
How old was Shaq on Cleveland?
How old was Rodman on the Bulls?
But Rodman and Shaq ain't the same people though.
Yeah, but you just said
that's why I gotta suck.
But you said old though. What about Ben Wallace? Ben Wallace. Hold on. Though. Ben Wallace and Rodman the same people?
At that age?
Yeah, they both was about the same age when they joined Jordan and LeBron.
So you say neither one better than the other one? They both the same.
They do the same thing. They rebound and play defense as an undersized power forward.
When we say that Rodman is better than Ben Wallace, then
are you saying Rodman better than Ben Wallace?
I would say so. At that age,
of course you would, because he played with Jordan. But it was the same age.
Because he Dennis Rodman. What did you say?
Well, I mean, in name is great, but they both Hall of Fame, great defenders, first team all defense, defensive player of the years, rebounding champs. They both do the same thing, dog. How come it worked for a three-peat with Jordan, but they couldn't even get to the finals with LeBron?
Because they didn't play against the same people, Mel.
You see, this is what I'm saying. Like, so
like, if you're gonna do this, you gotta take into account competition too, though.
Okay, the competition was Dwight Howard, Turkoglu, and Rafe Alston.
You know what I'm saying?
How come he? I'm
talking about the finals. We talking about the finals, though.
No, he didn't even get to the finals. How come he couldn't get past Dwight Howard, Turkoglu, and Rafe Alston? Jameer Nelson was hurt. Rafe Alston skipped to my lose straight off the streets. Was cooking them.
So
how come Dwight could lead a team better than LeBron in Cleveland?
Who was the team Michael Jordan beat to go to the finals?
You tell me.
With that Dennis Rodman.
With Dennis Rodman? He beat Orlando, Shaq and Penny. That was one
the
of
second year.
That was one of the teams. Yeah, the second year they beat Shaq. They swept Shaq and Penny. It was a sweep.
Hold on, I gotta go down. All right, what in '91? That's funny.
That's funny. It was Orlando. It's funny. It was Orlando with Shaq and Penny, and it was Orlando that sent LeBron to Miami.
But then Mike lost to them too, though. Mike lost to them too, though.
Yeah, when he came back wearing 45 from baseball. Yeah, he did lose to him.
I thought there was no excuses. You don't give LeBron no excuses. Don't give Michael Jordan no excuses.
I ain't got to give him no excuse. He lost to him. Yeah, he did.
I'm just saying.
No, I ain't got to give him no excuses. But when he lost to him, did he go join and form a super team after he lost to Orlando? No, he came back the next year and beat him in a sweep.
Yeah, he had the right team to beat him.
Yeah, all they added was Rodman. How come Ben Wallace didn't help LeBron? How come? How come?
Because
How
Ben
come
Wallace
LeBron?
not as good as Dennis Rodman.
How come LeBron? How come LeBron couldn't just add somebody so he can come back and beat Orlando the next year?
I don't know. All I can say is I just don't think it's a good argument because they played against the same people and they got different teammates, so you really don't know. All he really is doing is playing imagination right now.
Yeah. So you see on the screen, right?
Oh no, I don't look at the thing. What's on the screen?
No, no. Michael Jordan climbing that mountain and LeBron taking the helicopter up.
So you think playing 23 years no breaks is easy?
If you team hop, I think it's very easy because you get a younger co-star every 4 years that can carry the load for you.
Or maybe LeBron should have quit multiple times like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I think he should have. Yeah, no, I think he should have. I think we go do that tomorrow. We go talk about what it would look like if LeBron took MJ's route and only played 15 years and only kept one co-star like Scottie Pippen and kept him the entire career, and he gets older and more injury prone. Like I would love to see how many if he could get 2 3-peats doing it that way. What you think?
Oh, I think he definitely would. Get him Phil Jackson. We didn't even talk about the coach. We forgot Phil Jackson, a Hall of Fame coach throughout Michael Jordan's whole career.
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra, a Hall of Fame coach too. He gonna be in the Hall.
Come on now, you know Eric Spoelstra is not as good as a coach as Phil Jackson. Come on now.
He's top tier.
You really gonna do that?
He's top tier in this league right now.
Michael Jordan was James Harden until Phil Jackson took over.
Who's the best coach in the league right now?
Right now?
Yeah. Because when Phil was coaching, it was Phil, it was Pat Riley, it was Lenny Wilkins. They might have been the top 3. Then Popovich came along later on, but yeah, them top 3, they might have been it. Right now, it might be Ty Lue, it might be Eric Spoelstra.
Ime.
Who you think Ime?
I think Ime might be up there.
You think he better than Eric Spoelstra? Eric Spoelstra got what 2 rings and been to the finals 5 times.
He's been coaching longer, head coaching longer though.
Oh, okay. So here's my point. When Eric Spoelstra coached LeBron, where he was a young coach, I think he might have coached Wade 1 year. So he was like maybe a second year coach when LeBron got there, right? And Phil Jackson was a first year coach, right? And we didn't know Phil Jackson was going to be a Hall of Famer until after he got his 6th ring with MJ. Then was like, yeah, that's Hall of Fame worthy. But that took 6 years.
Hold on now. That sounds like Captain Me. He told me he had to win 6 rings before y'all say he was a Hall of Fame coach.
When did you say he was a Hall of Fame coach? When he got hired? Hold on. What year did you say? No, Warburg, I'm gonna ask this question. You got to answer it. What year in your mind? Because this is revisionist history for you. I lived it. I was watching the game at that. You're very young. So what you know of Phil Jackson now is a finished product. But remember,
right.
When I was watching Phil, this is him coming into the league as a young coach, unknown. He didn't come in as a Hall of Fame coach. So what year would you say he was a Hall of Fame worthy coach? Because at that time, Pat Riley had.
I say if you get a 3-peat, I say if you get after the 3-peat.
After the 3-peat, he was a Hall of Fame coach. All right, so that's first year he came in, they lost to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference. So that's year 1. Year 2, they won it.
Yeah.
So by year 4, that after the 3-peat, so coming into his 5th season, so 5 years, you felt like Phil Jackson was a Hall of Fame coach because of a 3-peat, correct?
Yeah. All
right. Now,
and
hold on. Eric Spoelstra.
Even though y'all already had
listen to what I'm saying. Eric Spoelstra came in in the league, and after his 5th year, he had already been to the finals 4 times, and he won 2. He didn't 3-peat, but he got the 4 finals. So by your standard, Phil Jackson after 5 years and a 3-peat is considered Hall of Fame. What about Eric Spoelstra with 4 straight finals appearances and 2 rings? Is that Hall of Fame? Thank you. So
that could be Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
That could be Hall of Fame.
Exactly. So
but I still don't.
Hold on. And I'm gonna throw this on the screen too. This is the greatest, the top 15 greatest coaches of all time. Red Auerbach, Larry Brown, Chuck Daly, Red Holzman, Phil Jackson, Casey Jones, Steve Kerr, Don Nelson, Greg Popovich, Jack Ramsey, Pat Riley, Doc Rivers, Jerry Sloan, Eric Spoelstra, and rest in peace, Lenny Wilkins. Eric Spoelstra was named officially, when they named the top 75 of all time, they also did the top 15 coaches. They officially named Eric Spoelstra a top 15 coach of all time. So hold on. So LeBron has had his Phil Jackson. He just left him because Wade's knees was bad. He had Phil Jackson. So we're not going to pretend like he ain't have good coaching like Jordan did. The difference is 4 years with his Phil Jackson got him 2 out of 4 rings, and 8 years with Jordan's Phil Jackson got him 2 3-peats.
I can go now?
Sure.
I don't think all Hall of Famers is equal.
Here we go.
I'm saying, though. I still think I'm just saying. So you're saying every Hall of Fame player is equal to each other?
No, I'm saying people need to stop lying and saying LeBron didn't have Hall of Fame coaching, because we ain't even got we ain't even got the Ty Lue yet. We ain't even got the Ty Lue yet. Ty Lue is on the same level with Spoelstra.
I'm not saying Eric Spoelstra not a Hall of Fame coach. I'm saying he's just not a Phil Jackson, though. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, who is? I guarantee you,
nobody. That's what I'm saying.
If Eric Spoelstra coached Michael Jordan and then went and coached Shaq and Kobe, Eric Spoelstra would be the Phil Jackson of this era. He would be Phil Jackson. What made Phil Jackson is he got the luxury of coaching Jordan and Shaq and Kobe. That's what made him Phil Jackson. Right? What made Greg Popovich, he got the luxury of coaching David Robinson and Tim Duncan, Ginobili and Parker, and then Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, and Kawhi. As soon as Tim Duncan was gone, Popovich didn't look good at all, did he? What made Pat Riley is he got the luxury of coaching Buck Johnson, Magic Johnson, and Kareem, Cap, and Worthy, and Byron Scott. And then he was able to move on to the Knicks and coach Ewing. Then he was able to move on to the Heat and coach Tim Hardaway, Mashburn, and Alonzo Mourning. And then he was able to go into the president position and get Dwayne Wade and Shaq and step down and coach them. And then he was able to get the Miami Big Three with Wade, LeBron, and Bosh. What are we talking about, dog? Coaches are coaches, but if you get one of these generational players, it's going to make your career. The difference is not Spoelstra and Phil. The difference is Mike and LeBron. Mike is on a different level, and that's what made Phil Jackson a different level. Kobe and Shaq is on a different level, and that's what made Phil Jackson another level. It's LeBron. LeBron is the issue, though. You don't want to admit it, though.
He not the issue if he got the resume he got.
Dude,
they won.
Look, it wouldn't have been
Eric Spoelstra never win without LeBron. Eric Spoelstra never won without LeBron. Phil Jackson won without Mike.
Because he got Kobe and Shaq. If Eric Spoelstra get Kobe and Shaq, he'll win without LeBron.
What happened when Eric Spoelstra faced LeBron in the finals? Didn't he get beat?
He didn't have Kobe and Shaq. If he had Kobe and Shaq, he wouldn't have an issue. But I appreciate the call, man. I mean, you tried, but and I'm cooking. You know.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is all imagination anyway. Like y'all gotta make up stuff for Michael Jordan to get.
No, we don't. He got 2 3-peats.
Yeah, you gotta pretend.
He got 2 3. He got 2 3-peats.
You gotta pretend he did this. I don't gotta pretend nothing. I can show you LeBron where. I can show you LeBron where you got to make up Michael Jordan's.
Okay. If that, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it, man.
No, it was fun, though, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
All right, man.
I'm going to hop back in here.
All right, man. You got cooked,
that was fun.
I appreciate the call. I definitely appreciate the call.
Yes.
All right, yep.
All right.
Jeff, what's up, big dog?
Hey,
Hey,
You need to stop playing with your food.
what you think, man? Was the 9 rings modest, or you think it would have been more?
No. I mean, I think that was being modest and not going overboard. You know what I'm saying? Not rubbing it in their face too much. But I mean, it could. It could have been so much worse though. Like you had it in parameters where you were holding it to mirror as closely as you could what that fraud did, right? Like you were mirroring that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that part was on that. So you kept it kind of honest. But it's like if he said that, like literally would have had the pick of the litter, like whenever he wanted. If he could do that, man, stop. It's not even. The dude had in 4 of his championships, he only had one other teammate that was an all-star that year, and they were all Scottie Pippen.
Yep. And he got older.
First
He got
time?
older every year, didn't he?
Yep. And guess which team is the oldest NBA champion in the history of the NBA? 98 Bulls.
Sheesh. I know what was
So
Jordan was 35. Pippen was what, 32?
He was 30. He was 30. Yeah, it's like 32.
And Rodman was like 37.
He was 37.
Yeah.
Right. And you're looking at and basically Pippen was a decoy.
Yeah.
So because he was injured, he was hurt, and he did all he could. He toughed it out. Great, but let's not pretend like this is not like. I mean, it's funny we're doing this, and World Breaker. I don't know. He need to take some cookies out of the oven or something. He talks like he got an apron on or something.
Jeff. The reason why I really wanted to do this because like we say that it's diabolical that he did that team hopping and was able to handpick and reshuffle the deck and all that stuff, man. But when we say it, you got to get a good visual of it, what he really did, and you gotta put somebody else in those shoes and say, if this guy did this, this is what it would look like.
You could have put a whole bunch of people. You could have put You could have put Patrick Ewing in that same mixer. You could have put like a number of dudes who didn't quite make it, but who didn't get over the hump. Had they had the opportunity to do that, it would have been. The landscape would have been forget the Wild Wild West. It would have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the idea that you're gonna sit up here and try to say that Rodman and Wallace, and you're trying to say, yes, Rodman is he's a one-off. The Worm was a one-off. You know what I mean? He was his tenacity, his way of doing things. But let's not forget, this dude decided to go do WWE in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Talk about he need a break.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not pretend like these were the type of stuff the stuff you had to deal with. And like you said, and it's great that you put this whole thing with Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson wasn't Phil Jackson at the beginning. Those of us who lived it, Phil Jackson was a great coach. No one ever said he was a scrub or anything like that. He was like he made timely calls. He did the right thing. But that was Tex Winter's offense. Everybody wants to say that's Phil Jackson. No, Tex Winter is the one who taught him that.
Correct.
When they were on Doug Collins' staff.
Correct.
And he's the one who recognized the genius of it. And because Jerry Krause recognized it, because he made sure that because Collins didn't want Tex Winter on the staff. He alienated him. It was give Jerry Krause his credit. He was the one who made sure Tex Winter was there. Because he came from that baseball thing, so he was always looking for things. That was one. He meddled with stuff, and he caught on to something. He was right. That offense was perfect for keeping the ball moving, and that was a thing. Now you can't focus on Mike. Now you got to. He just needed one more joker to be a ride or die, and that was it. That was it. People can, and then really 1990 they should have won. I was there. They should have won 1990. They should have beat Detroit in 1990.
That was the migraine.
That was a migraine in the game 7. I mean, but if this was this, we all be drunk. That's all cool. But the point we're making is that Jordan, like you said, his heart did not pump Kool-Aid. It was nitro, and that dude did not. He didn't care about all this stuff that he was focused on winning. Like that was his focus and proving people wrong. Because as we say now, he had no weaknesses. But if you go back to 1984, when they drafted him, highly athletic, not too great on shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great shooter. That was the thing on him. And then when he kept playing, what did they say? Well, he doesn't really play defense because they really weren't paying attention to his steals and his blocks from a shooting guard. And then he made it an emphasis. How are you gonna score 37.1, average 37.1, and lead the league in steals? And all they're gonna talk about is your offense, but shoot a total of 12 threes an entire season.
Yeah, that's insane. So
See?
let me ask you this though, Jeff.
Yeah.
So if he did team hop like that, that means he would have played with Hakeem, Barkley, Byron Scott.
Mhm.
He would have played with Sewell, Peyton, Dumars. He would have played with Garnett, Ewing, and then eventually LeBron James. That would have been his career path. Just realistically, how many rings and how many points do you think he scored in 20?
Okay, the points are going to be ridiculous. The points are going to be ridiculous, because if you think about it, if you got Barkley and Olajuwon, you got both offense and defense in the low post. You cannot. So that means you're leaving him single. Dude, I'm sorry. We're going into the beating Magic if that's the point. If you're going to try to double him to stop him or whatever, so now he's just going to double down to Olajuwon or Barkley. So his assists are going up too. Look, it's dream team type stuff. It's not even fair.
Yeah.
And I think, the whole thing is, for me, he would have been bored. Like his, you know what I'm saying? For him, it was like he was showing with the mountain, climbing the mountain. That was his thing. That was his meditation. The grind, getting through it, and going up against the challenge. Like you said, his idea was, yeah, Barkley's my friend, but I'm gonna crush him. Right? These are these are people. What old boy say? What the coach of the Knicks say? He befriends y'all to get y'all to take down your guard, and then he crushes you. And he's like, Jeff Van Gundy. Yeah. Oh, okay. And then what he did, he said, Oakley said, man, you need to stop talking, because now he's upset. And that was the thing. That's another thing. We ain't even got to the whole thing of all the revenge stories he's got.
Yeah.
People making up stuff to upset, act like he's upset, make up some stuff. This dude said, good game, Mike. What? And then you play him the next day and you crush. I'm gonna have what he had in the first half. And you miss it by 2 points. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and here's another thing. How many dunk contests did LaFlop participate in his 23 years of being on wasting our time? Zero. But see, and here's people forget Jordan. Man, even that one when he got that one Chicago, was it 88? Me personally, I thought Dominque won that. I watched it live. I thought Dominque won it. And I thought it was just some home cooking. Then later, when I saw that dunk later, I was like, okay, well, yeah, that is kind of artistic. I'll give you that. But even he came back and told Dominque, yeah, you should have won that. You should have won that. He said, I ain't gonna say it in public, but yeah, you should have won it. Yeah. But the point is, he competed. He lost to Dominque. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Correct.
He wasn't afraid to lose.
He got in the 3-point contest too, and embarrassed himself.
And embarrassed it. It was horrible. I think it's the worst ever. But he did it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's for the fans, and I think that's the other thing. He kept it for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And man, come on now. And who was that World Breaker talking about all this pressure and everything?
Yeah.
It's like people don't understand how bad the Chicago Bulls were as a franchise before he got there. People now they think, oh, the Chicago man. I grew up in America, or as an American. I didn't know what the name of the Chicago NBA team was. I knew who the Bears were. I knew the Cubs and the White Sox. I'm being straight up. I did not know that they were the Chicago Bulls. Straight up, couldn't tell you. Because back then you got regional stuff, and you only got the Sunday night game, the Sunday afternoon game, and that was normally the Lakers, the Sixers, or the Boston Celtics, and whoever they were playing.
Yeah.
So you weren't seeing the Kings or whatever. You weren't seeing stuff like that, because if you weren't winning, if you weren't in it, you know what I'm saying, or you didn't live there, you didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But now we know about it, just like we know about Nike.
For sure.
And everything else.
For sure.
And what is the common denominator? All that, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
There you go. Well, I appreciate it, Jeff. I'm gonna get 2 more calls in before I move to the last topic, man. I appreciate the call, Jeff.
You got it, brother.
All right, thanks.
Have a good one.
All right, T-Bert, you up, man? Call back, T-Bert. And who was that said they should call in? Was that T-Bird, my dog? What's good, man? Shut YouTube off in the background. What's up, big dog?
Yeah, I did. I
Okay.
cut it off. What's going on?
I'm good, man.
How you making out?
I'm good.
All right, let's get the people what they want. Right?
All right. First of all, did you watch from the beginning?
No, I've been here since World Breaker.
Okay. So you ain't see when I was doing my hypothetical. You got to go back and watch it. It was pretty funny. But go ahead. What you got?
For sure. You know, I don't trash other callers, none of that stuff. You know, that ain't my style. It's OGs. We got to keep it real. But it's our job to school the younger generation now. And it's like, my suggestion to people with this fake LeBron and Jordan fake debate, if you didn't see Jordan play, how do you say somebody's better than him?
That's a good question.
Like, stop it. Absolutely stop it. Like, so it's like, and then, like, you know, I give World Breaker his props. You know, he's a supporter, you know, good dude. So I'll never say nothing negative about anybody. I'll just give advice, right? So World Breaker said, let me give him some facts. He said, oh, it was different competition. Jordan and LeBron faced different competition. All right, well, let's do the research. Jordan played against 37 Hall of Famers. 37 Hall of Famers. And keep in mind, when I did the count, I did not count Kobe. I didn't count Kevin Garnett, and I didn't count Allen Iverson, because they didn't catch Mike in the supreme prime. They caught him at the end. So I didn't even count them 3. If you count them 3, that's 40 Hall of Famers, but I didn't count them 3, right? So to say anything about Mike's competition, he played against 37 Hall of Famers. Like, what more needs to be said about Jordan's competition?
Nothing. Not for the people who watched who he was playing against. Teams was evenly matched back then. There wasn't like a team that was stacked or overloaded. Every team had their superstar with a co-star that was either all-star level or all-star, right? You know what I mean? Some superstar, the only difference was some superstars wasn't created equal. If Karl Malone was your superstar and he was going against Jordan, they're both very good, but Jordan is Jordan. If Barkley was your superstar, going against Jordan is a little bit of difference there. Now, when you go to the co-stars, you got KJ, co-star for Barkley. You got Stockton, co-star for Malone. You got Pippen, co-star for Jordan. You know, everybody had that thing. Now, the difference for a player like Reggie Miller, he didn't really have, Rich Smith was his co-star, but it was like they both were beneath Jordan and Pippen. Like, I think Pippen
absolutely.
Yeah. So you got stuff like that, but everything was evenly matched. You know, you had one guy that was the man, and you had his helper with role players.
Absolutely. And that's exactly how it was. And there wasn't no team hopping and joining and all this other stuff. Because if you listen to Reggie Miller, during that time, he was, and he still is to me, one of the all-time greats. He had opportunity in his prime to get traded to the Knicks, and he declined it. And they might have beat the Bulls, right? And when they talk about like Jordan's team, like, and who he played against, like, I was there, I lived it. If you really look at Jordan's team, they wasn't a great team. They didn't have like great individual players that can do all this, things that they can do now. But what made them great, it was the defense. They all gave maximum effort. If you go look at Steve Kerr, who came off the bench, he came in and gave maximum hustle and effort, and he shot a high percentage from the three, and he knocked down timely shots. It was their defense, and their greatest team was their second three-peat, right? What made them so great was it was their defense. They had a 6'6" point guard and Harp. They had Jordan at 6'6" at the 2. They had Pip at 6'7". All those long wingspans, you know what I mean? Then you got Rodman, one of the greatest defensive players of all time. Top 2, top 3 in my head. And then you had Luke Longley, who's 7'3" or 7'4", whatever he was. They were long and they played great defense. But if you look at the individual talents, look at that great team. Hart wasn't Hart no more, right? He had double knee injuries and was a shell of himself, right?
Correct.
Because in his prime, he was easily a 25, 26, 27 a game scorer. He was the man on his team. But after his injuries and everything, he couldn't move or nothing like he could. So as an individual, he was just a really good defensive player. Then you had Jordan, but now you got Pippen. Pippen, for his career, averaged 19 points a game. All right? But Pippen was so versatile, can do everything, and was great on defense. Rodman didn't give you nothing on offense. And Luke Longley, he'll give you, like 8 to 10 points and 10 rebounds. This was not a great offensive team.
No.
They just make it simple. They just had Jordan. They had Jordan. That's why they were so great. The scores were a little low. They were in the finals. They were in like 90s. But Jordan would score a third plus more of the points. So it's not a lot of points to go around. And Jordan would score. Sometimes he would score 2/3 of the point. And let me move on to my next point. And if you look at the time, right? Look at the times where at the time it was a handful of players that played against LeBron, Kobe, and Mike. And if you don't want to listen to us who didn't play at the NBA, listen to who knows better than the players who played against all three of them. I'll name them. Chauncey Billups, Vince Carter, Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal. They all said Jordan was the best, Kobe was the second, and LeBron was the third. Yeah. So if you don't want to listen to us and you don't want to go research and watch YouTube and look at the old games, listen to the players who played at the highest levels, who played against all three, and just take their daggone word. Now, you do got some of these NBA players who signed by Clutch Sports and X, Y, and Z who will mislead you. But look at the real ones who played against them all. And they all say Jordan was 1, Kobe was 2, LeBron was 3, bro. Go ahead. You take it, Mel.
The same thing you said, I've probably said it a couple of times myself, man. I mean, there's no other way to really look at it. Like, MJ was the best we ever seen. That's why I was trying to explain the World Breaker. He was like, they had him in the GOAT debate before he had rings. No, they didn't. There was no such thing as a GOAT debate. They just all had a consensus that we've never seen someone this good before. And
so
that's what it was.
Let me add on to that. You're 100% right. And the first time I ever heard of the GOAT, it was with LL Cool J when he was battling cannabis.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And he put that tattoo of that mic on his arm, and the end of the reverse was like, with LL Cool J, greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. That's the first time you ever heard of the GOAT. And so now people listen to ESPN and they take their narratives and they just regurgitate them back. They come on your platform and try to hit you with, their talking points. Like, so they're saying that, Jordan was crowned the GOAT when he first came into the league. Wait a minute. I was there. Jordan was getting ridiculed and killed. Oh, he'll never win the championship. He's a ball hog. He don't play team ball, because at that time, the offense was pass, take the good shot. But your offense always ran through the big men. Your big men always led the teams in scoring. The big men always won the championships. Jordan came, was changing that narrative a little bit, and the media was absolutely destroying him. So they wasn't saying he was the GOAT when he first came in the league. He was getting killed. So he was under tremendous pressure, right? So let's stop saying this. And another thing, everybody want to talk about the longevity. Oh, LeBron's the GOAT. Longevity. It's funny, right? Kareem was considered, the best basketball player ever at one point, right?
Yep.
But if you know what they never used to justify him being the best basketball player of all time? Longevity. They never talked about longevity. It was his resume. The greatest collegiate basketball player ever, dominated in high school, came to the league and went against Wilt, who was the best basketball player of all time at that time. Their age difference was significant enough where Wilt was drastically declining and Kareem was on a rise, right? And he was getting the best of Wilt. I watched them games. No, I'm not old enough to have seen them, but I went back and did my homework and did my research. And then Kareem was running with the torch. And when Kareem retired, like, for the longest, people say he was the best of all time, but they never used longevity. They never did it. It's only relevant now. Go ahead, take it, Mel.
That's all, man. That's it, man. I appreciate the call. I'm gonna get one more in here before I move to the next topic, man. I appreciate you, T-Bert.
All right, talk to you, bro.
All right, thank you. All right, I think it was one more person trying to call in. I seen somebody from Ohio. I seen it's Vancouver, Washington. This might be my dog. Caller from Washington. What's up, man? What's up,
Mel? Your partner from Washington. How you, man?
I'm good, man. I ain't heard from you in like a month, dog. What's up?
Man, it's been a minute. I was about to tell you, I got a new job and I'm coaching for my old high school basketball team too. So I just been dealing with that, just trying to get the kids right. I just been doing a lot of training with them, like 6 a.m. workouts, just trying to just get them right, work on the fundamentals. So
yeah,
I'm excited. The season's around the corner next week, so that's why I haven't been able to get on the live shows. But I've been watching the reruns though.
Well, so look, check this out. Here's the question: if Mike team hop the way LeBron did, and he was able to play 4 years with Hakeem and Barkley and Byron Scott, then he was able to play 4 years with C. Webb, Gary Payton, and Dumars. Then he was able to play with Garnett and Patrick Ewing. And then he was able to play a couple of years with LeBron. How many rings he getting? How many points is he scoring?
I mean, it's not. That's not fair to answer that, because I caught a little bit of the hypotheticals, but like it's unfair to put Michael Jordan, if he gets all those players. He has. I would give him, just rough and answer, probably around like 9 rings, and that's pretty nice. That's being generous. But would we also view him the same way if he did that as well?
We will view him like we would view LeBron, like a team hopper.
Yeah,
we wouldn't respect that. Yeah, we would not respect that. Kobe Bryant would be the GOAT.
Absolutely, probably. It would be Kobe. I even with all that though, we recognize he's still arguably would probably be one of the greatest of all time. Just like LeBron, with all the team hopping stuff he's done, in my eyes, I still think what I've seen from him, he's still a top 10 player of all time.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he still played the same. Like if he still played the way he played, got 9. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, I don't even know, man. Like, dang, man. Like, we respect. Like, it'd be tough, dog. It'd be tough to see the best player we've ever seen, but he team hop. Like, that'd be tough to deal with mentally, dog.
Right. It's just not the same. And then he probably want to get the same. You just want to get the same love when all the players, you're not just competing against each other. That's what makes basketball.
Correct.
Just sports in general. You want to see the best players compete against each other. Yeah. That's what we want to see all the time. When we watch marquee games or anything, you want to see the best players go out and compete.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to go and talk about was when people, I believe his name was World Breaker. I think he was mentioning not only him. I think I heard it with Alonzo Ball too as well. I hear a lot of times if you just flip LeBron James and with Michael Jordan, or if LeBron had Phil Jackson, in my opinion, I don't think it works as well because Phil Jackson runs the triangle offense, and LeBron James, that's not his skill set to fit the triangle offense when they play. The triangle offense is meant for you to get the ball out of the best player's hands. It's meant for the other role players to get more involved.
Correct.
And LeBron James isn't that great of an all-ball or an off-ball player.
Correct.
Like, he's not great at running off screens. I would say his low post game has gotten better with time, but that's not his forte. Even another player that I said, or that I thought had a great post game, still didn't work out well with him when he tried to run the triangle was Melo. And I think Melo's game fits better for the triangle, but he still didn't fit well. So you have to be a phenomenal basketball player to get your numbers in that triangle offense,
Correct.
like how Kobe and Mike were.
Correct.
So as great as LeBron is, I don't think he would be getting the same numbers, and I don't think his skill set would be for that offense, or he wouldn't flourish enough.
Yeah,
unless he worked on this game more.
And then the players around him, like, you know, Scottie Pippen being on a team with LeBron, Scottie would have been trade bait. They would have had to get a shoot. They would have had to get a shoot. They would have let Scottie Pippen walk so they can get some type of shooter in there. I mean, he probably would rather have Glenn Rice or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So
just a knockdown shooter.
Yeah. I mean, Phil would have to get fired for putting him in the triangle. So yes, seriously, if LeBron was in Michael Jordan's place, Phil wouldn't last long, just like David Blatt didn't last long. David Blatt came in with a system that he wanted to put LeBron and Kyrie in, and LeBron was like, I'm not having that. Get this dude up out of here. Get me somebody that's going to let me play Bron ball. So Phil would have got fired. Right? And Phil would have went right back to the CBA, just like David Blatt went back overseas. He would have never got a chance we would have never known about the triangle. You know, we would have never known what Phil Jackson could do. He would have got fired. Pippen would have got traded. LeBron would have been playing with Glenn Rice. LeBron would have been a point guard. And that's how it would have been.
Man, we already saw what Jordan did when he was playing before they got Phil Jackson. I believe it was a 20-game stretch that they had Mike. He had him play point guard, and he was averaging a triple-double, like 31, 11, and 10.
Yeah.
But they weren't winning games. They were losing. So you're going to get your numbers playing that way.
Yeah.
The ball's in your hand 24/7. You're going to obviously get your numbers, and you're a great basketball player.
Yeah.
But it's not a winning formula.
I agree.
100%. But another thing I wanted to gripe on is when people talk about the expectations LeBron has right now compared to when Jordan was 40. If you look at their teammates, who on the Wizards team was a top 75 player teammate that Mike had compared to LeBron?
His best teammate with the Wizards was Stackhouse for 1 year and Rip Hamilton for 1 year.
Right, and I believe that was Rick's rookie year, correct?
It was definitely his rookie contract. I don't know if it was his rookie. It might have been his rookie year. But he wasn't ready yet though. Like Rip. Right.
It wasn't Rip Hamilton we know.
Yeah,
right?
he was looking like a bust. It took him some years to get acclimated to the game.
But that's also the thing. You have a lot of people right now saying LeBron James is arguably a top 10 to let alone like 15 players still in the league. And then you still give him great players. He still had an AD. Now you give him Luka and with AR. Michael Jordan didn't have those caliber of players, so you can't compare what LeBron had and what Michael Jordan had when he was on the Wizards. That's an unfair comparison when they say, well, look at what LeBron has and he has these expectations. It's not the same. You didn't give LeBron Mike a great second running mate with the Wizards to see what he could do.
Correct. I mean, we seen LeBron in LA at his advanced age without another superstar. His first year when he got there,
didn't make playoffs.
Yeah, he had to play with Lonzo Ball, and he didn't make it through the season. He got hurt. I think it was his groin, and then they didn't make the playoffs. Right. So if he would have stayed with a subpar roster in LA, it would have looked just like Michael Jordan Wizard years, but worse.
Absolutely. So, but that's the thing. I mean, right now, I think people just how the world works. It is everything tomorrow is supposed to be better than yesterday. They advertise the players right now all the athletes are supposed to be better right now than they are in the past, and that's just not true. With Michael Jordan, it's hard to beat Michael Jordan. Let's just be honest.
It is.
He has everything in the toolbook. Yeah, from mentality, from his scoring ability, from athleticism. It's just hard to beat that.
Nah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna move to the next topic, man. You the last caller, man. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, for sure. Take care, man.
All right. It sounds like it's raining outside. We don't get much rain out here in Cali. Man, I don't get that. I might go walk out in the rain just to experience it. I ain't seen no rain in so long. All right, y'all. If we ain't getting no more callers, man, I'm gonna go ahead and go to some other stuff I wanted to talk about. Well, I mean, basically just the games last night. I guess we can start with Nikola Jokic first. And Nikola Jokic had 55 points in 3 quarters. Ty Lue, there's a soundbite of Ty Lue saying, you know, the game plan was for us not to let him get other people involved who was going to turn him into a scorer, you know. And that's not a horrible game plan from this standpoint. One, all last season, well, actually the last 2 to 3 seasons, they've been collecting this data. They're saying as far as the numbers are concerned, there's no other better defender on Jokic other than Zubac of the Clippers. And Zubac had a breakout year last year defensively and offensively. Man, he flourished with Harden and Powell. Zubac was pretty good. And then when you saw him in the playoffs against Jokic, there were some games he really got the best of Jokic defensively, and he was going at him and scoring buckets, man. So it was like, you know, I wouldn't say he neutralized him, but he made Jokic work on both ends of the floor. And what the Clippers was able to do was put Zubac on Jokic and not have to bring a double team and, you know, still kind of contain him a little bit. Like, he didn't go off for 55 against the Clippers in the playoffs. So whatever they was doing, whatever Zubac was doing was okay. Now, the issue was when Zubac went to go sit down, they didn't have a backup that can come in and keep that same energy, you know, so Jokic would get his numbers, especially when Zubac go sit down. Then they bring in Lopez, who was a great shot blocker and defender, who can also spread the floor to the 3-point line. So you think the Clippers, oh man, they got 2 7-footers they can throw at Jokic. This would be good. So I think Lou wanted to test that theory out last night. You know, we're not gonna send no doubles. Zubac does very well against Jokic. Lopez, you supposed to be like a top tier defender, at least shot blocker. So you should be able to do something with Jokic. You're a big body 7-footer. Like, he shouldn't just be able to easily score on you. And I got 2 of y'all. Let's see what we can do without double teams. The game plan wasn't horrible. The issue is Jokic brought his best stuff last night. Like, it's almost like Jokic knew the game plan. Oh, y'all not doubling? And Jokic was like, okay, I got to score tonight. I love the fact that Jokic caught on to that very early and was like, y'all not doubling, I'm scoring. Because sometimes when you see Jokic play, it look like he's looking to pass. It's like he want to get the assist, right? And he could have easily fell for the trap, and instead of going for 25 in the first quarter, he could have been trying to figure out what the Clippers are doing. But as soon as he saw no doubles was coming, I got to score. So he put up 25 in the first quarter. Now, he only had like 1 or 2 assists in the first quarter. So on one end, the game plan is working because no other people was getting involved. Jamal Murray didn't have a ton of points. Aaron Gordon didn't have a ton of points. Neither did Cam Johnson. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. came off the bench and was able to do a little something. But after that first quarter, it was really just Jokic. But they had the lead, so I would say that wasn't working. But then in the second quarter, I look. Because mind you, I'm watching the OKC game, so I'm watching this on the stats. So I look at the stats in the second quarter. I'm like, oh, shoot, the Clippers are winning by like 8. It's working. But then I look and I see Jokic got like 30, 33 going into the half. And I'm like, sheesh. Right? And then next thing you know, I guess the Clippers just, they couldn't keep the lead, and Denver took the lead and then took it up double digits, and the rest was history. And then Jokic hit 55 points. So I guess he just got hot and just went off, right? So kudos to Jokic for that. I like to see it. I love to see it. He only had 6 assists. I like my best player to give you as much points as needed. If I could beat you with 25 points and lock down defense and 5 to 6 assists with my best player, that's what I want. I want my, especially if you're a 7-foot center, I want you to be protecting the rim and deterring people from driving to the hole, trying to get dunks and layups. That's what I want my big man to do. Right. So I want your defense to be the first and foremost. I want you to score on an elite level, and I want you to score and wreak so much havoc that they have to double, or they don't double and you go get 40 or 50 and you make them pay for not doubling. That's what I want for my best player. The scoring, I mean, the assists, I really only care about those assists for my best player, especially if he's not a point guard. If you're my best player, those assists, I want you to get 5 or 6 because you're going to get 5 or 6 just based on double teams coming and you just giving the ball up. There's a shooter, right? I don't have to design a screen and roll every single play like Luka. Every play is a screen and roll, and either I'm gonna shoot it or I'm gonna pass it where the help comes from. So it's either my point or my assist. That's basically what it is every trip down with Luka and anybody else who run that system. Right? I hate that system. Right? That's the system of no one's going to get an assist other than my best player. If y'all get an assist, it's going to be off schedule, not playing. But we're designing assists into the system for Luka, and was designing shots for Luka. He's going to get 25 to 30 shots a game, and he's going to get an assist whenever he don't take the shot and he pass it. That's the entire offense. And sometimes they do that in Denver where Jokic is the hub for the offense, and he's getting assists off of everyone. And he's just feeding, and every now and then, okay, I go get a bucket. I'm not a big fan of that. That's kind of stat patty to me. You're the best player. Nobody can stop you from scoring. Do that. And when the double come, then give it up. You're going to get 2 assists a quarter doing that. Like if your goal is to give us 8 points in every quarter, that'll get you that'll get you 24 to 25 points. Or that'll get you there. What, 8 times 4? 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4, 8 times 4 is 32. I'm sorry. That gets you about 30 points a game, right? So but you're not going. If your goal is 8 a quarter, you're not always going to reach 8 a quarter because you're going to miss shots and you're going to sit down for rest every now and then as well too, right? So, but if your goal is to get between, I mean, if you can get 6 points a quarter, that's 24. Easy. If you just think of it, 6 points. I'm the best player. If I'm shooting 50%, that means I got to shoot it 6 times. And make it 3. And that can be 6 points. The other times I get the ball, if the help or the double come, then I give it up. But my goal is to get 6 points a quarter to keep my team afloat. And the assist is just going to come off of that. You don't have to force assists. You don't have to design your best player to get assists all the time, right? Anyway, I like what Jokic did. Ty Lue miscalculated. He came out with the wrong game plan, and Jokic was ready for it, and he made him pay. That's what it is, right? Now, everyone's overreacting to it. Last night it was an overreaction. Everybody talking oh man, he's the best. Give him the MVP. I'm like, what? Somebody said, he's better than Hakeem. Kendrick Perkins said that, man. Like he said, the performances I see from Jokic make Hakeem performances look average. I'm like, dude, do you know Hakeem had a triple-double with blocks? Yeah, this dude had 10 blocks, 10 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, and probably 5 to 6 steals. Come on, dog. Are we serious, man? Like, why we got to be doing this, dog? Like, why we got to overreact all the time? When Aaron Gordon, first game of the season for Denver, scored 50 points, dropping threes all over the place. Couldn't miss. He shot it just as well as Jokic shot it last night. 50 points. No overreaction. Everybody was like, 50 points, cool. No overreaction, but Jokic get 55. Oh man, the sky's falling. Like why? Why we got to glaze and overreact? Like why people just can't be honest and just call a spade a spade? He got 50 plus point game this season, and they want to give him the MVP. But these same people watch SGA within a 3-week time period put up 4 50 plus point games last season. 4 of them. After the first one, okay, cool, that's 50 points. The second one, dang, he did it again. The third one, oh man, this dude 3 50 point. Nobody else had more 50-point games than SGA last year. He had 4 of them. Nobody had more 40-point games than SGA last year. Nobody had more 30-point games than SGA last year. The dude was just a walking bucket. That's not impressive to people, I guess, but it's impressive when their favorite player do it. Hey, I just thought that was funny. Then the game I did watch was the OKC Thunder. And yes, that was a belt to ass situation. Man, listen, the game plan, Case and Wallace. First and foremost, let's just talk about SGA coming to the season. His second best player and Jalen Williams had surgery on his wrist. So he wasn't ready for the season because he had to go in there and redo something because the screws was causing him some pain. So he's out still. He's been practicing, so he might be ready maybe next week, maybe. But he was without his second best player, who was very instrumental in that finals run last year. Very instrumental in the playoffs and the regular season. Defensive player, made a defensive team. I think second team all defense. I don't know if he was an all NBA player, but all-star for the first year. Like, yeah, this dude is he found this Scottie Pippen. Bad boy. Score, right? He's without him. He's got Chet. He's without Lou Dort, who started for him most of the season last year and most of the playoffs. 3-and-D guy, one of their best defenders. He was without him. Caruso has missed 4 or 5 games already. Chet has missed 2 or 3 games already. It's only 12 games. You've already lost. You already had to play a couple of games without Chet. You had to play all 12 games without 13 games. All 13 games without Jay Will. You had to play about 4 games without Caruso. You've played more than 4 games without Dort. And they just plugged and played AJ Mitchell, which I like a whole lot. Left-handed cat. He reminds me of Tony Parker, but he's taller and a little bigger. Tony Parker was listed at 6'1", maybe. He might have been 5'11", maybe, but let's say he was 6'1". I think AJ Mitchell might be listed at like 6'3", might be longer on. So he plays bigger, but he plays similar to Tony Parker, the way he gets downhill into the hole, very good. And then, what makes him different from Tony Parker, his size makes him a better defender. He's just like everybody else in OKC. He defends well too. They put him on Luka a couple of plays. He defended Luka well. So AJ Mitchell, great addition. They had him on the roster last year. They just didn't play him. Now he's getting play time. Right? Starting. I think they should keep him starting. Like, this dude is phenomenal. I really like AJ Mitchell, a true point guard. SGA is off the ball more now, playing a conventional 2 guard a little bit. I love it. I love putting SGA at the 2 and having Mitchell, but they're interchangeable. Man, it's just phenomenal, right? So they start him and Case and Wallace together with SGA, Chet Holmgren, and man, who was the 4-man? Man, I don't know why I'm forgetting that, but Case and Wallace, what a weekend he had for. Okay, so he played the Grizzlies. He was the primary defender on Ja Morant. He held him to 11 points. Then they go to Golden State. Primary defender on Steph Curry. He held Steph Curry to 11 points and a poor shooting night and a 30-point blowout. Then he comes to the Lakers and he's the primary defender on a much bigger Luka Doncic, and he picked Luka up full court press, and like from the first tip off, he's guarding him 94 feet and making him work just to get the ball up court. And here he is with all that bacon on his back. You know, you got big back Luka. He's supposed to be skinny, but he ain't. He really ain't. Like, losing Ozempic weight don't get you in shape. Like, you can have Ozempic face, but you still you still a big back. You just don't look like one. But your body still is giving big back on the end. Like, oh man, well, I'm still a big back. Like, I still can't sprint the way I still get out of breath. Like, you know, Luka is always hunched over, grabbing his shorts and his knees like he's tired in the first quarter. Like, that dude ain't in tip top shape. He's not. So the game plan for him was, hey man, you're gonna have to work if you want to play point guard. If you want to play that, we're gonna make you work just to get the ball up court, right? Like, if you want the ball in your hand and get a high screen and roll and get into your offense every single play, why would I let you walk the ball up court with no pressure and then just come up here and call for a screen and get into your offense? No, I'm going to press you, and this is what every team should do with Luka Vandross. I want to press you all the way up court, and this is going to happen every single play to the point where you don't even want to bring the ball up court no more, which is what happened a couple of times last night. He didn't want to bring the ball up. Hey, give it to him. Give it to Austin Reeves. I'll be off the ball, you know. And then every screen that you use, we're not going to give you an option. You're going to do what we want you to do and what we've practiced. I hate when teams just automatically switch on the screen and put a big on Luka, and then they Luka say, "May I have this dance?" and then go to a step back three, and then they be like, "Oh man, he hit that step back three, so let's do something different." And then they got you just guessing, and the next thing you know is one play is the step back three, the next play, you don't switch and you try to hedge, and then we roll and he throw the lob, and then the next play you try to stop the lob, and then he throw the pass to the weak side 3-pointer, and then next thing you know is a timeout. We don't know what to do. What OKC did is, look, we're going to dictate everything. We're going to press your fat ass up the court. By the time you get over here, you're going to be sweating donut juice. You're going to be tired. And then when you call for that screen, we're going to make you hate this screen because we're going to double you on every screen. And we're going to give you only one option. This guy is rolling on the short roll. That's the only person we're going to give you a pass. He's got to score 50 points tonight to beat us. And you've got to be disciplined enough to throw it to him every single play, because that's the only person we're giving you. We're going to double you off every screen. We're going to let that short roll go. We're going to bring the help off the short roll. So by the time you throw it to him, defense is there. But that's the only play you getting every single trip down. We're doubling you off that screen every time. And they did. A couple of times he beat it. He just found the right angle and was able to get to the hole. Then a couple of times they got to switch and he stepped back and hit a three on Chet, but then he tried to do it the next play and Chet contested it so well. I mean, it was a really bad miss. And then he started second guessing whether he wanted to keep doing it. But pretty much what it was, they were dictating what he was going to do. It wasn't unpredictable. We're like, man, we don't know what he going to do. We switch the screen, he do this. We hedge, he do that. We rotate to stop the roll, then he do that. Like, it's like when you're second guessing, he got you eating out of the palm of his hand. You got to force him as a defense. You have to have an attacking defense and force them to do something. He made Luka look. They made Luka look very bad last night. 19 points, missed a whole bunch of shots, bunch of turnovers, and on defense, that was just even worse. I mean, the defense. Lord have mercy. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this defense up, man. I might have a clip for this defense. Here we go. Luka Vandross, y'all.
Chet Holmgren slipping in and gets it over to Rui. Wow.
Let me mute this, right? Because I don't want the sound here. But look at this right here. Look at Luka on the corner. He's guarding the guy on the corner. The first thing you're supposed to do is know that you ain't got no help behind you at the rim. So your number one priority is not to give up the baseline. You've got to stop the baseline. What's the first thing Luka do? As soon as his man get the ball, he gave the baseline up. Look at this. Look how easy this was. One dribble and a layup, right? He gave the baseline up that easy. His feet, it's that hard for him to move his feet, y'all. It's that hard for him to move his feet, right? This is what you got to deal with this guy. This is why Dallas didn't want to keep him. All right, here, look at Luka at half court, right? And this is one thing that I really don't like, because if Luka don't have the ball, this is what he does. He did this to Brunson and Kyrie. When it was, basically Luka come down and got the ball all the time and do high screen and roll. When it's Rivers, when it's Reeves' turn or Kyrie's turn or Brunson's turn to do what they do, they're always going one-on-one. I noticed they don't hardly get screens as much as Luka. They got to go one-on-one. Their second best player always got to be a bucket, because when Luka is like, all right, it's your turn, they go one-on-one. But look at Luka. He never is in a position where he's setting a screen. He's not even in a play to where, if Luka's man wanted to drop down and play some help defense, like Luka ain't even like in a play to where he's an option to pass to it for a shooter. Like he always stand way off. Like, all right, it's your turn. I'm just gonna stand here and watch. I'm gonna just be out of the way. I hate when he do that. He don't cut. He's not a good decoy. He's not nowhere ready to catch and shoot. I hate when he does this. I hate it, man. Almost like he didn't want to give you the ball, and he just stands there. Now, but we all know from basic basketball, if you're going to be the man back, if there's a missed shot or a turnover, you got to get back. Watch how Luka gets back off this turnover, y'all. Just look at this. You see the man fumbling the ball, so you can see it's about to be a turnover. Luka is still standing flat-footed. He's almost at half court. The man that steals the ball is going to beat him to half court. I lie to you not. Look how close Luka is to half court. The man that steals this ball is going to get to half court before Luka. That's AJ Mitchell. He beat Luka to half court. He beat him to half court. Here's Luka again, SGA on him. All right, so once SGA gets to his attack, he's going baseline again. Once again, Luka's going to give up baseline. Now, Luka grabs SGA's left arm, so SGA had to score this with one hand. His arm is stuck between Luka's arm. But that's the best defense he could do, is grab his arm. Look at this. One dribble, got by him, lay me. That's people's, that's somebody's MVP candidate, y'all. That's somebody's MVP candidate. Let's see this. What player is this? Okay, this is Luka again, trying to guard SGA. Now look at the rotate there. So Luka has given up the baseline so many times. Look at Vanderbilt. This is what they call pre-rotation. Like the help usually comes once the guy, gets to the paint, and then the help comes. This dude was pre-rotated. That's the only way they was going to stop him from going baseline. They got to bring a guy over there just to help Luka. Like he's at the 3-point line, and they like they don't have no faith in Luka's defense, so they have to pre-rotate and help just stand there to stop the baseline. So Vanderbilt's not guarding anybody. Look at the guy all the way on the corner. That's probably who Vanderbilt should be guarding, but he's rotated all the way over because they know Luka is dog food on the island. So you got to do rotated already to stop the baseline. SGA is going baseline. He beat Luka baseline and then came back to his left and go beat him a second time to get to the paint and get a pass out to the 3-point line. He go beat him again. Boom. Beat him again. Like, why is it so easy getting by him? And everybody had to collapse to the paint. They was already in pre-rotation. And Luka still got beat with pre-rotation. And he got a deep penetration. He could have took that shot if he wanted to. Like, he could have took that shot. But he was like, I see a better shot over here wide open, because the entire Lakers team collapsed because we got to help Luka. You got to play that type of defense because he can't hold his own. So when your best player and your superstar can't defend, hey, Luka, you're a point guard. SGA is a point guard. He's going off. Can we use you to slow him down? No. We actually got to hide you from him. And if you ever get caught on him one-on-one, we're going to pre-rotate to help you out. When your best player, that's the head of the snake, dog. When your best player can't defend, I mean, what type of team you expect to have? Your best player can't defend. Not only can't he defend, he won't defend. Like, he's not even that interested in it. This is your best player. It all rolls downhill. Right? Here's another play. It's SGA just cooking. Now, you see what Luka is at right there? That's how he get most of his rebounds. Because when he's guarding the guy in the corner, when the shot goes up, all he got to do is just stand right there. Rebounds come to him most of the time. Look, Caruso's the only person from OKC that crashed the board. You ain't even got to box out to get rebounds no more. And people want to give people MVPs for averaging 10 rebounds and 10 assists when they're the only one who passes the ball for assists. And they so afraid to have them guard the perimeter, they just stand right there and just let rebounds fall in their hand. Right? But the shot went in, so he couldn't get that cheap rebound. Right? There's Luka again closing out. This is Isaiah Joe. We already seen him get beat by Casey Wallace baseline. We see him get beat by SGA baseline. We see him get beat by SGA going to the middle. Now, here's a bench player. He ain't even a starter. Can you stop the starter from getting to the hole? Can you stop Isaiah Joe, who's a shooter? Nope. 2 dribbles, got to the hole. Help had to come. Easy dunk. Easy lay in. Right? So that's what happened in the Lakers game last night with OKC. They got blown out. It was bad. Right? So all of that hope everybody had for Luka getting the MVP, like I told you, by the All-Star break, when the season started, Luka is always the top guy for MVP in the preseason MVP favorites. Then he'll be top 3 by game 10. By the time you get to the All-Star, game 25 of the All-Star break, I guarantee you, just like clockwork, he's already missed 4 games, but just like clockwork, Luka is going to go down with some nagging injury, low extremities. He's going to miss probably like a week to 2 weeks. I don't know how many games it's going to be. And then he's going to come back and play a little bit. Then we go into the All-Star break, right? And then after the All-Star break, he might be in shape. He might be good to go. But he's already missed 4 games. I guarantee you, by the time we get the All-Star break, he's probably going to be at about 10 games missed already. 10 or 12 games by the time we get to the All-Star break. He's going to miss about 10 or 12 games. And he's going to be out of the MVP race. 100%. He's already out of it. 100% out. Right? He's already 100% out of it. And right now, where I got my top 3, nope, that's it. That's what I had last week. This is what I had last week. Did I bring? Hold on, let me bring my MVP race up here. That's my MVP ladder from last week, y'all. I had Jokic number 3. I had Giannis number 2, and I had SGA number 1. Right, and it's changed. Giannis missed another game. He's missed 2 games already, and his team. And this is why being available is so important in my MVP criteria. Like the games you play is important, right? I factor that in because every game that Giannis has missed, I think they lost. So they lost last week to they lost the other night to Charlotte. No Giannis, right? I guarantee you, if Giannis was there, they beat Charlotte. So you not being there and not being available is affecting your team in a negative way. I don't like to give someone great consideration for MVP when something that you're doing or not doing is hurting your team. Like I just showed you with the defense with Luka. That's hurting his team. Right? Some of those losses that they have are because he can't defend. Right? him playing hero ball the way he plays hero ball is affecting his team in a negative way whenever he's not playing, like Superman and hitting everything. Right? It's a lot of negative things that Luka do that affect his team in a negative way. And Giannis missing games is affecting his team. Right? So I dropped him. And especially after the performance that Jokic had, he jumps up. And I didn't just drop Giannis one spot. I dropped him a couple of spots. And I have Cade Cunningham at my number 3 spot right now. Right? So what's my criteria, you ask? Let me see if I can get my criteria up here. I'm going to get to the comments in a minute. I want to see what y'all saying. I see some comments over there. But I got my top 5 here. As you can see, those red flags for Jokic because he's not the defender that the other candidates are. Giannis is a A+ defender. SGA is an A+ defender. Cade is maybe a B defender, and Wemby is an A+ defender. Jokic is the only one that has red flags as a defense. He's not as bad as Luka, but he's not. I mean, he's not like when I think of 7-footers like Wemby and Giannis, I think of rim protection. Even Lopez provide rim protection. Jokic don't provide any rim protection. His and that affects his team negative. Right? So he's got the only red flag. Right? But look at the games. Giannis he's played 10 of 12 games. SGA's played all 13 games. Jokic all 11 games. Cade, he missed his first game, but they won that game, luckily for him. But he needed some rest after that overtime game, I guess. It was a back-to-back. But he's played in 11 out of 12, and Wemby has played out 11. Wemby, he's giving me some performances that like, come on, this is where MVP is supposed to step up and take over. He's done it a couple of times, and a couple of times he didn't. So, he's my number 5. He's dropped. I still got, as a matter of fact, Giannis is getting very close to being my number 5. I mean, they got, out of all the people that's on this list, the Bucks got the worst record out of all of them. They're like 7-5. Right? They're 7-5. They're only 2 games above 500. Right? But it's still early. So I got Jokic at number 2 behind SGA. Then I got Cade at 3. I got Giannis at 4. Wemby at 5. Right? That's where we at right now. You look at all my other metrics, their offensive value, their defensive value, where their teams are rated at defensively and offensively. I factor all that stuff in, and that's my top 5. That's where I got it at. All right, let me get into these comment section. Sadly, Reeves. Hold on, let me see. Sadly, Reeves is the Lakers' most important player. It seems like that. LeBron teammates let him get 80% of those rebounds. He ain't boxing nobody, fighting elite power forwards. Like the rebounds that the reason why we value triple doubles is because when we see 10 rebounds in our head, we think they did what Rodman did to get those 10 rebounds, and then it seems impressive on paper. But when you see how people get their rebounds in this era, there's nothing impressive about 10 rebounds, which means there's nothing impressive about assists. About triple doubles. And when you see how assists are recorded, it's people doing 1 move and 3 dribbles, and that's still recording as an assist. And then when you start seeing that teams are orchestrating their offense to where their best player is the only one that distributes the ball, of course you're going to get 10 assists. And as a matter of fact, if you don't get 10 assists and you're the only one distributing the ball, then that's a failure on your part, because the offense is designed for you to get 20 assists. Like, you're the only one making passes. The offense is designed for you to get 20 assists. I'm actually offended that you don't get 20 every game. You should average 20 assists. So when you see the way rebounds are got in this era, and you see the way assists are got, and also the points ain't even it. It's impressive, but it's not as impressive as the points were in a physical era of basketball. Because if the commissioner have said that we've purposely made it easier to score, then that means the value of scoring is not as valued as it was when it was a premium and when it was hard to come by. Right? So triple doubles, like you giving someone an MVP for triple doubles is like the worst thing you can do. Like it's not impressive. What's impressive is winning. That's the number one. Like if I wanted to, if I ask anybody when it comes to basketball, what's the most important thing that you can think of that is about basketball? The number one most important thing about basketball or any sport is winning. So everything, every award, everything that impresses us, whatever that is, it has to be geared toward winning. So winning is the number one and most important thing in basketball. What's the second most important thing? The second most important thing is scoring, because in order to win, you have to score more points than your opponent. So I'm going to value scoring second after winning. What's the third most important thing? Defending, because another way that you score more points than your opponent, if I score 2 points and I'm able to defend you and you can't score, when the buzzer sounds, that's how I won 2-0. So like if I couldn't value defense more than scoring, because if defenses was perfect and nobody scored, nobody wins. Someone has to score to win. So winning, scoring, defending. Those are the three things that are the most important that I value the most. And that's why my MVP ladder, let me get this off so y'all can see this. That's why my MVP criteria is based on your offensive value, your defensive value, and then your team success, how often your team is winning. Right. So that's no really like if I told you the rank winning, scoring, defending, and triple doubles, rank it 1 through 4, I'm pretty sure triple doubles will be number 4. And it's not close. I don't need a triple double to win. I need points to win, and I need to stop you to win. But I don't need to record a triple double to win. So why is that the most impressive thing in the MVP race? Is how close you are to a triple double. I don't understand it. But yeah, Luka out of the race, not even in my top 5. I don't think he's gonna get back in the race. He still ain't learned nothing. Dallas, I mean, they fired Nico, but I mean, when you really look at it, dude, who wants what I just showed you on screen? Like, seriously, who wants that, man? For real. Like, if it's just money that you're thinking about and all those 77 jerseys you could sell, I mean, I guess you can look at it that way. But as far as basketball, Dallas did the right thing. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate that daggone Kyrie and KD got hurt. I mean, AD got hurt. Very unfortunate. But they wanted out of the Luka business. It was frustrating to get somebody almost $300 million on the Supermax that hasn't came in shape in the last 5 years for your team, regardless of what parameters you put around him to try to get him to come in shape. And then he's just not going to commit to the defensive end. Even if he commits, it's only going to be for like a day, a quarter, a game. And then he's going right back to his old self. Like, he's putting bad footage on film daily. He's putting bad film out there every game on the defensive end. That just can't be your MVP, dog. It can't be. It cannot be your MVP, man. There was another game, the Warriors. This is what I don't like about the Warriors, y'all. They should have just let Jonathan Kuminga go. Like, so they get beat by the defending champions. I mean, they beating everybody. I mean, they 12-1. And the one game that they lost to the Blazers, they was beating them by 20 points and got bored. And the Blazers came back and took the win from them. And they still only lost by 2. They could be undefeated right now. But nonetheless, man, these dudes rocking and rolling, ready to go. They got the best player in the league. They're playing lights out defense. Offense is clicking. You know, they got a deep bench. I mean, they're just the champs, man. So I'm like, dude, if you lose by 30 to OKC and you the Warriors, okay, you lost by 30. Back to the drawing board. But what I didn't like about it is after the game, they asked Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler about what they think the issue is, man. And I just didn't like the fact we knew you was talking about Kuminga. How they threw him on the bus, we knew we was talking about Kuminga. This is what they said.
Last season, once Jimmy got here and what's going on right now?
I think everybody was committed to winning and doing that any way possible. And right now, it doesn't feel that way.
Personal agenda type stuff, or like, you know, I mean, I guess how would you kind of?
I think everyone has a personal agenda in this league, but you have to make those personal agenda work in the team confines. And if it doesn't work, then you kind of got to get rid of your agenda, or eventually the agenda is the cause of someone getting rid of you. And so, you know, I think you don't want a team with no personal agendas, because a goal is an agenda, you know? And so you got to have some type of personal agenda. But like I said, you got your personal agenda must fit into the confines of the team.
So Draymond said, we ain't playing right. We you know, we got whooped like that because people, you know, we're not playing winning basketball because people got personal agendas, or people not playing team ball, basically. And that's the thing that they kept saying about Jonathan Kuminga last year and year before last, when his minutes was going down. That was like, oh man, he want to score, and it's not about you, it's about 30, it's about Steph, and all that. I mean, all that is true. But Steph is old, and some nights he not gonna have it, and some nights he's gonna get banged up and injured, and you're gonna wish you unleash someone like Kuminga. They keep trying to tame him and hold him back, because the more he feels good about himself, the more shots he take, then that's less shots that Steph take. I guess that's what they think. They really want everything to revolve around Steph. That's their offense, and there's no room for Kuminga to want to do more. They really want Kuminga to buy into whatever Kevon Looney and whatever Draymond Green does. The guys that they have, you know, basically said is going to score is Jimmy and Steph, and then everyone else gets whatever falls, you know, off the table and get scraps or whatever the case may be. That's how they want to play. Set screens, rebound, play defense, pass to 30, and you know, you can get buckets, you know, just how you get buckets. Right now, he's averaging about 15. I don't have no problem with Kuminga, but they just crapped on him. Right? They crapped on him. Then they asked Jimmy Butler the same question.
He thinks between the way you guys finished last year and now is that everybody was committed to winning in any way possible last year, and it doesn't feel that way now. Do you feel that way?
I think he's, you know, partly correct. We just got to get back to doing whatever it takes to win. Everybody will have to sacrifice something. I can't tell you what that sacrifice might be for every individual. It may be different for every individual every single night. But it's got to get back to winning is the main thing, the only thing. And it's going to be the collective of the group to figure out what is needed to win every single night.
So Jimmy Butler pretty much said the same thing. I'm like, man, come on. We know you're talking about Kuminga. Then Steve Kerr got interviewed, and he's talking about, we gotta find a lineup that works, and we gotta shake some things up. And guess what? They shook up. Jonathan Kuminga was not in the starting lineup last night, and he barely got more than 10 minutes. He got like 12 minutes last night. So they pretty much took him out of it. They're punishing him because he's not taming himself enough to play like a robot and just let Steph, you know, do everything. And they feel like that's their winning formula, and that's, you know, that's what got them rings. Really, Steph and Clay being in their prime and catching lightning in a bottle and being unbelievable, playing at MVP level for an entire season, not a stretch of 10 games, you up and down a little bit because you old, you ain't got the legs, but then you pop back up with 40. Like, you had 11 points the other day, dog. Don't act like it's all Kuminga that was the issue. You had 11 points. You couldn't hit nothing either. Then you pop up the game after that, and now you got 44. Okay, great. Or 46, whatever. Great. But since you're not in your prime, you can't do that every single game. You might want to find a young buck that you can use to get you 15 points consistently, and every now and then jump up and get you 30. You might want to lean into that. Steve Kerr might want to have a system where, all right, yeah, it's 30 we trust, but is there anybody else we can trust other than Jimmy Butler in 30? Like, Kuminga want to hoop. Can y'all let him hoop? Y'all done pulled this man out of the starting lineup almost like you punish him. And this dude he was about to leave. Y'all kept asking him to stay. We not go sign Al Horford and Seth Curry until we figure out what was going on with Kuminga's contract. And y'all wanted this man to stay. Y'all wanted him to stay just so he can come out and get benched again. And Draymond go in the press and threaten that he's going to get traded. Either basically he said what LeBron said to Kevin Love, either shape a fit in or fit out in public. They basically took, and it's coming from Steve Kerr on down. They've all, like, it's all everybody against him. And the whole time Steph Curry probably ain't said nothing. He just let Kerr and Draymond do all the talking for him. And Steph Curry he probably talked to Draymond Green one-on-one and be like, yeah, man, Kuminga, man, he took too many shots, man. He looked me off one time, man. And then Draymond, man, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you gotta do it the 30 way. And then Steve Kerr, you gotta do it. Like, why say that in public, man? I hate these dudes so much, man. Like, I really dislike them after how they treated KD, how they treated Jordan Poole. I hate the way they treat their players, man. I hate the way they did Clay. Like, these dudes are despicable, dog. They're despicable. You got this man to sign with y'all for less money than what he could have got, trying to buy into this team concept just so you can 10 games in bench him and listen to Draymond Green say that if you either go fit in or you go get traded. You go be the cause of somebody getting rid of you. Get rid of your personal agenda, or your personal agenda is going to be the cause of somebody getting rid of you. That's speaking directly to Kuminga, because ain't nobody else on that roster worth trading. Don't nobody want no daggone Pop Minsky. Don't nobody want no Quentin Post. Don't nobody want Moody. Don't nobody want GP2. There's nobody else on there that's worth trading except Kuminga. We know exactly who you're talking to. And I hate that for him, man. Now he's benched. I got to listen to my teammates say that Steph, once again, is quiet, ain't said shit. Just like when Draymond said, we don't need you, KD. We won without you. You a bitch. Steph Curry's leadership nowhere to be found. You didn't check Draymond on that. You didn't come to KD to support him on that. You didn't do none of that. You just quiet. And we know the reason why you quiet, because Draymond says what you thinking too, probably. You're not man enough to say it. That's why people questioning his leadership. So once again, Draymond out there saying whatever about Kuminga. What does Steph go say? That junk is insane, dog. Like that's a horrible work environment for a young kid like that. A young man. Right? So yeah, it's crazy, but they got the win. Now they feel like, oh man, we found the right formula. Keep Kuminga on the bench, right? It's your fault, Kuminga. But dude, you forgetting you played the defending champ. They just beat the Lakers by 32 as well. Y'all just can't stack up with the defending champs. You think now that Kuminga's on the bench and you put two shooters on the floor with Moody and the rookie, the rookie, I like him a lot. Number 3, I like him. He had a 30-point game earlier this season. But you think now that you got two shooters in okay, so that's the formula now. What happens when Steph legs ain't there again and he 3 for 10 like he was against OKC? and Jimmy Butler don't want to pull the trigger on those shots like he did in the playoffs, and you had to put Kuminga in against your will after you benched him, and then he go out and get you 25, 30. You get what I'm saying? Like what? Like y'all was playing the Thunder. Y'all was playing the Thunder, dog. Phone lines are open, y'all. Call in. It was playing the Thunder, man. I just think that's weak, dog. I really do think it's weak. Them dudes get on my nerves so daggone much, man. He said Draymond is a bum talking as if he's Draymond also had the nerve to start talking about football and say Dak Prescott was a bum. Dude, are you serious? Draymond Green is just too much, dog. Yeah, Steve Kerr is trash too, man. The way he treated Jason Tatum at the Olympics. Oh, here's another thing too. So, I remember last year Draymond on his podcast was talking to Baron Davis, and OKC is on a run. They winning ball games and stuff like that. SGA's playing phenomenal. And see, Draymond Green thinks that he can play mind games with young teams. And I think he attempted to play mind games with OKC because he tried to criticize them for their post-game ritual when the player of the game getting interviewed, but the whole team is behind them and they having fun and they building camaraderie that way. They like each other. Right. I think what Draymond's saying was a team that's together, they like each other, and they playing really good basketball. They had a really good record year before last. They got put out by the Mavericks. Mavericks go to the final, but the OKC Thunder was the better team with the better record. They just got outplayed. And he saw that and was like, ooh, we in the West with them. We got to go through them eventually. And I think he tried to throw a little salt in the game. I think he tried to throw a little salt in the game. Hey, caller, hold on real quick. Let me finish this last part. Hold on. Don't hang up.
Yes, sir.
And he tried to go on this podcast and say that they look weak when they do their post-game ritual. Listen to this.
The one thing I would say about them is there's a certain readiness when you're ready to win. And I don't care how old you are. I won my first championship in my third year. Steph's 6th year, Clay's 4th year. And we used to joke around. We would pour water on a guy's head and we would pour water on a guy's head every now and then.
Happy to win.
And after the game. And we would do little stuff like that every now and then. Not every time. But the one thing I see with the OKC team that is a little alarming for me is like their post games. Like 7 guys in the interview. Like there's a certain seriousness that it takes to win in this league. And there's a certain fear you have to instill in a team, in teams, in order to win. And I just don't know if they're instilling that fear in teams with all the bromance and stuff after the game. Like, bro, we all the bros and the homies. Like, that's cool. There's a time and a place for that. But after every time somebody's in the interview, you got 7 guys, 8 guys. Then you got the same 7, 8 guys with a picture with Josh Giddey right after they play. Like, again, I'm all for having fun. Like, it's an 82-game season. You should have fun. But you also have to understand when people are looking at you to be the team, and you have to understand when your moment is. And right now, I don't know if OKC understands, but their moment is now. Their moment started last year. You go out, you had that great regular season, your clock starts now. You're no longer the team that's just building through the draft. You've arrived. It is now time for you to take that next step. And I'm not sure that they quite understand everything that entails. They understand the play. Them boys special. Like, they get out there.
They can hoop.
They
But
they
it's
winning.
another level. It's another level to they gotta get 2 more levels to get to the championship.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's when I'm watching that and I'm in your conference and we about to play in the playoffs. If I think you soft,
yeah,
I'm not there. There's no fear.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not anxious.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, bro, I'm going right at these dudes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so, all that, like, the fun and games is fun. Like, it's dope seeing them, but there's also, like, they got to mature a little bit and become more professional so the stars can be the stars.
Yeah. Sorry.
So that was the dumbest thing I ever heard, right? And I listen. I know the psychology of what he was trying to do, but because he's a bit of a bully like that, and he likes to play mind games and stuff like that. I get it. Now, on one end, if OKC Thunder heard that, and then they actually took heed to it and then made an adjustment and stopped doing that post game, Draymond knows they're not ready. They weak. They listening to what we saying out in the media and making changes. I can push buttons about their locker room and mess junk up and it's gonna work. The reason why I know that's how he think is because when Memphis was up and coming, you got a young Ja Morant, you got a young Jaren Jackson Jr., you got a young Dylan Brooks, you got a young Desmond Bain, you got Steven Adams. That team was coming. And they, like, during the regular season, they used to put belt to ass on the Warriors all the time. And there was a lot of chirping. Dylan Brooks used to talk a lot of junk. So now you got someone that's a tough guy that talks trash just like Draymond do, that ain't scared of nobody. You know what I'm saying? They play tough and all that stuff. And Draymond sees that. And I remember Dylan Brooks, I think they played him and beat him and said something. And Draymond Green went on his podcast and told them he was talking about Dylan Brooks and said that he's talking like he's one of the guys. You're not Jaren Jackson Jr. or Ja Morant. You just a guy that they don't need. And he said that the championship run for Memphis doesn't begin with Dylan Brooks. He said, yeah, the championship doesn't begin with Dylan Brooks or end with Dylan Brooks. He said it actually begins after Dylan Brooks. He pretty much was saying, like, that's not the guy that's gonna help y'all get there, and they heard that same year in the playoffs. They played the Lakers in the playoffs, and I think Dylan Brooks after the game made that comment about LeBron James being old. And then the next game, LeBron James came out motivated and went off on Memphis, and then eventually put them out of the playoffs. And Memphis was like the crowd, not the crowd, but the fans were so pissed off at Dylan Brooks for poking the bear that it went and lingered into the summertime. And that's when they went on and didn't re-sign him. Like, they had a playoff contender, a championship contender that just didn't. They got beat by the Lakers and AD, and they was playing inspired ball, and they scapegoated and blamed Dylan Brooks mainly because they probably still remember what Draymond Green said earlier that season, where he's foolish. He's going to hurt your team, and it came true. He did hurt them because he poked the bear. But that's you wasn't supposed to get rid of him. They got rid of him because Draymond Green planted that seed. He tried to plant that same seed with OKC, and he really wanted to see if OKC was actually going to make changes based on what he said. OKC said, "Man, nah, this is what we do. You and Baron Davis can call it weak all you want to. We still doing it, and we go show y'all we better than y'all, right?" This is how he had to humble himself. I got you, caller. I'm coming right now, but this is how he had to humble himself after he got beat by 30 last night, by the defending champs and the reigning MVP. This is what he said when they asked him about their togetherness.
Thunder's trying to do what you guys did: win a title with young core, promising future, and then you guys built on it. Multiple championships, decade-long contention. Besides having just great players, what's the key to making sure that what you guys got done?
you have to like each other, which you can tell they love each other, which leads to all the magic. And you have to understand roles, which they definitely understand their roles. They got their top dog, they got their number two. Everybody come in, they know their role. From Shea, no disrespect, tonight was the first time I've seen 23. To Brooks, everyone knows their role. And that's the way it has to be in order to win in this league. And they're doing that, man. They are a well-oiled machine. They kind of just plug and play, which is, how we were during those times. So it was very interesting to watch. But when you have a leader that has that commitment to excellence day in and day out that Shea does, everyone else has to fall in line. And they're doing that, and it's special to watch.
Everything he said, they like each other for real in real life, and you have to have that and all that stuff. Everything he described would never have happened if they wasn't building camaraderie the way they do. That whole bromance that he was criticizing last season, that is the reason why they're that tight now and they can play like that. And he said that's what we used to have. When it stopped, when Golden State didn't have that anymore, when he punched Draymond, when he punched Jordan Poole, that split the locker room, and that locker room haven't been put back together ever since. And they keep trying to get rid of people and add new people in to try to fix that, but you can't fix that locker room. Draymond is an issue. They're hanging their hats on old guys. Steph is old. Draymond is old. Like they're trying to run that same old system. That shit is not going to work. And you brought in Jimmy Butler, black ass, thinking that was going to fix something, and Al Horford, old ass, and y'all just old. And y'all 2 games above 500, and y'all blaming Kuminga for it, and he the youngest, most legit dude that y'all got, really. All right, caller, what's your thoughts, man?
Hey, thank you for taking my call, Mel. Well, before I get started, I just want to ask you this, because I've noticed, and I said this a while back, even when the dynasty was going, that something was wrong with that locker room. That locker room is not good, and the only reason why you don't see the cracks because they were winning at the time. I mean, once they hit adversity, I think the cracks are going to show, and it did. And the reason why I said that is because even while they were winning, Klay Thompson did not look happy, and that was like before he got injured. Like he did not look happy, and I can see like there were times that Steph Curry was going out his way to make sure he got his touches. Because back then it was a time he didn't look happy, and I was told I was tripping. But before I just want to ask you that, do you see that or did you see that back then when they were going through their run?
So this is what I think was going on the last season that Kevin Durant was there. Kevin Durant was in his contract year, and so was Draymond. Kevin Durant never told Steph, Klay, Steve Kerr, Bob Myers, Draymond, he never told nobody from the Warriors what he planned on doing at the end of the season. He told them, let's just get this last ring, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it this summer. Here's the issue, though. Draymond Green was expecting a huge payday, right? This was going to be his first huge contract. And he knew, just like how Kuminga, the way Golden State handles things, hey, man, we'll sign everybody else once we get the big fish. The big fish was, let's get Kuminga done, and then we can bring in all these free agents. It was the same thing. Golden State and Bob Myers was like, everything that we do this summer is going to be based on what Kevin Durant do. If Kevin Durant comes back, we're going to give him whatever money he wants. And the only thing that Draymond is going to get after that is what's left. So Draymond knew his contract and his future in Golden State depended on KD. As a matter of fact, if KD really wanted to, he could have told Bob Myers, I'm not signing here if Draymond's still here. So Draymond knew everything depended on Kevin Durant, and he couldn't even get negotiation done until Kevin Durant did it, and Kevin Durant wasn't talking to nobody. He was waiting till the summertime, and that frustrated Draymond. That's the reason why when they had that issue when they played the Clippers, when Draymond turned the ball over and then passed it to KD and they got in the argument on the bench, Draymond was frustrated the whole season because of what he was waiting on Kevin Durant for. Right? That's why he was on edge with Kevin Durant. And that's why he said what he said to Kevin Durant. Right? So Kevin Durant left. Fast forward, that same thing happened with Jordan Poole. Draymond Green was getting pushed out of the Warriors offense. He barely played in the finals against the Celtics. And Jordan Poole balled out all playoffs. As a matter of fact, they didn't even have Steph Curry in the first round. Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins carried them. And as a matter of fact, in the finals, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and Otto Porter Jr. actually played way better than Clay and Draymond. So the writing was on the wall for Bob Myers. I'm gonna re-sign Jordan Poole. And everybody knew Jordan Poole was about to get some money, including Draymond. But guess who also was in the contract year that summer as well? Draymond. Draymond was looking for his second big payday. And he knew that Jordan Poole was going to get the money that he wanted. He knew he was going to get scraps. So he was already pissed off at Jordan Poole the same way he was pissed off at Kevin Durant. And that's why he was on edge. And that's why he swung on Jordan Poole. It was all about his money, his well-being, and his future with Golden State. He always lashes out when his back is against the wall. This dude is a freaking badger.
I remember you did a show about sensitive. That just shows that dude was just sensitive.
Correct.
Very sensitive.
Correct.
And the locker room is doing a terrible job of containing him. And I'll go back to to when you were talking about MJ's Bulls when they signed Rodman. You know, Rodman was the same way. He was a hothead like that too. But the leadership in the locker room did a good job of containing that, which is what you're not seeing in Golden State. And I take that 100% from the it started with the leadership. Like they're not sitting them down.
Who's the leader in there? You think
the leader is supposed to be the head coach,
right, or the best player? It ain't neither one of them. It ain't the owner either.
Well,
so it ain't the owner. It ain't the GM. It ain't the coach. It ain't the best player. The leader is Draymond. That's the issue.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm just gonna say Draymond's an issue.
Correct.
Because Draymond's temper broke. Clay wasn't outspoken, but this is just my opinion, just based on what I see on the outside as a fan. I think the change in Clay's demeanor towards when he decided not to resign, and that was a red flag to me. Because I'm like, this was a guy who was a cornerstone of your franchise, and then when it comes time for his contract year, he was adamant of not re-signing, but he didn't make it vocal. He didn't make it vocally.
Well, Golden State didn't take care of him, man. They didn't prioritize him at all. They act like he was just done, and they didn't owe him no loyalty. But they felt like they owed Draymond all the loyalty. Like Draymond was almost out of the Warriors twice, dog. Like he was almost out. If KD wanted to stay, Draymond would have been gone. And the Jordan Poole situation, at the end of the day, they chose Draymond over Jordan Poole. I don't know why, but I do know that Draymond told the story on his podcast that he got wind that he wasn't going to get his contract, and he was pissed off, and he said he didn't go to talk to Steve Kerr. He didn't go to the GM, Bob Myers. He drove to Joe Lacob's house, the owner, knocked on his front door, came in his living room, and when he left, he had his contract.
That's crazy.
And you can look that up on he told that exact story on his podcast. This dude went to the owner. This dude went to the owner and pretty much like that's what he do, because even when he was getting punished for the Jordan Poole punch, he's told the story on his podcast where he had a meeting with Adam Silver and he was in there crying and told Adam Silver that he just want to retire, trying to make somebody feel sorry for him, and Adam Silver fell for it. No, we don't want you to retire, blah blah. Come on, dog. Like that's what he did. So he didn't say he cried to the owner, but I'm pretty sure it was something close to that. He went in there and begged and was like, "You can't lose me." I don't know, whatever he said, but the owner fell for it. And he got his contract. You know what I mean? It's just too many stories. Is also another story about how he almost killed Steve Curry at halftime in the locker room. That story is out there. Like they said, the people that was in the next room said that they knew for sure that he was about to like. It was that the shout match was that bad, and how many people was holding Draymond Green back was that he was about to beat the shit out of Steve Kerr.
That's terrible.
All this stuff is you can Google and look all this stuff up, man. All of it. He done bullied everybody in that daggone organization all the way up to the owner. When you bypassing the GM and driving to the owner, like who's done that? Jordan ain't even done that.
I don't even know. I haven't heard nobody do that.
I've never heard that, dog. I drove to the owner's house. I would have called the police and traded him the next day.
You out of here, bro.
That's insane, man.
But yeah, it's a problem when one of your leaders is a cancer of the locker room. It was mass when they were winning, but now that they went to a spell where they're not winning, it's showing itself. Like he can't contain his. He acts like a teenage girl. Like he can't control his temper, and we know the saying is when a man can't control his temper.
Correct.
But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
You know what?
But
you could say he act like a teenage girl, but you know what I think it is? In a lot of cases, he act like the unattractive fat girl that goes to the club with the very pretty girl, and he's protecting her from everybody to make sure she don't go home with nobody. Like everybody who has come to Golden State, Draymond is protecting 30 like it's his treasure, and he don't want nobody else to get close to 30. He didn't want KD and Steph to have a tightness. Like he's always in the way. Every time somebody's trying to break him up from 30. He knocked the hell out of Jordan Poole. You think you about to get a contract and be the new Splash brother? I'm Steph Curry's best friend.
Yeah, it's like he got a bromance thing for Steph.
Facts.
It's weird.
It is weird.
What else? What was it? I wanted to call in and talk about the three things that you focused on this topic here.
All right, let's do it.
Well, we already talked about Golden State. I think we already established the problem is Draymond. Like, the good thing about it is he's very vocal. He knows the game. He's good at getting guys in their defensive spots where they need to be. That is the good of Draymond. The bad, can't control his mouth, and nobody has the sack to put him in his place. So it's like a rabid dog off the leash and is running around the house biting everybody.
Correct. And you paying him number 2 money to do Charles Oakley work. Like if you just here to rebound, play defense, and scare people, you are close to a max contract.
He's not a max player anymore.
He never was.
But he's not a max player. But it's like when it comes to a cancerous locker room, you always have one person that's a scapegoat who they point the finger at instead of pointing the finger, instead of addressing the real issue. First it was Clay, then it was KD. Now it's Kuminga, and none of those three deserve the treatment that they got, and it's not being checked. And it was masked because they were winning championships. They won 4 championships, and then what did we do on the outside? We start pointing the finger at KD. You go, well, maybe see, they won without you, KD. They didn't really need you. This, that, and the third one, when that wasn't the case. So just like you said, it was just you got beat down by the defending champs who's beating everybody this year. So you just got to go to the drawing board, look at the film, see what didn't work, make your adjustments, and move on. And instead of making these, as you would say on the street, these be-in moves and try to make subliminals and calling out another grown man.
Correct.
When he's not the issue.
Correct. And I honestly think that Butler and Draymond saying it in the post game is what put it in Steve Kerr's head to make the change in the lineup. I honestly think that was their way of telling Steve Kerr to pull Kuminga out of the lineup.
And Steve Kerr ain't got a sack either if he gonna do that instead of standing on you're the coach, you're the boss of the locker room.
Yeah.
He should have stood on him like, no, he's a key figure in our offense. We need his production off the bench. We need him to go off while you guys get your rest, so we can keep the momentum going. So when you go in, we didn't lose no momentum. That's what a smart coach does. You got to be able to check players, even your star player, when they out of pocket, because players get in their feelings. And you as a coach, you got to be non-biased. You got to be able to check them when they're in their feelings. Like, look, no, bro, this is what's working. We're going this route. You know, instead of listening to it and punishing the kid who ain't doing nothing wrong but trying to ball out. So they don't want to trade him. They don't. It's like,
oh no, they no. They want to trade him now. They want to trade him. They had to get him under contract first. They had when he came to his contract year and they couldn't come to an agreement, they was like, man, we can't let him walk for nothing. We spent the first round pick on him. We can't let him walk for nothing. We have to convince him that we go give him a fair shot if he comes back and make it work. But what they really going to do is sign him and find some excuse to say it didn't work so they can throw him on a trade block.
Or they try to sign him to a max deal so he can get as many assets back as possible. They probably do that, or they probably doing that because they know that they don't have no future for Kuminga. I think they're trying to just get him to as big a contract as they can.
No, they already signed him this summer. They signed him this summer. They had.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that was. It was a 2-year process.
I think it was a 2-year deal. They got him long enough so they can trade him at the deadline. They go trade him at the deadline. I guarantee you.
Yeah,
he's because what's going to happen is Golden State. They're going to be close to the 7-8 seed. They're not going to be a top 4 team in the West. They're going to be bottom half of the West. And when they realize that they can't win, they're going to be like, man, we need a trade. And Kuminga is the only asset. They're going to trade Kuminga at the deadline. Trust me.
That's the only asset they got.
They go trade Kuminga, and it might be for LeBron.
Oh, please do.
It might be for LeBron.
Well, let me move on to my Lakers. I don't want to take up the show.
All right.
Because I've got a lot to say about them. First thing I want to address is, we're not going to. Yeah, I'm a Laker fan. I ain't gonna front. We're not going to win a championship with Austin Reeves and Luka.
No.
On the same roster.
No.
They're both of them. You got 2 defensive liabilities. You can't mask it with 3 defenders.
No.
You can't. And a prime example, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Austin Reeves is a totally different player when Luka and LeBron is not in the lineup. When he's the number 1 option, he plays totally different player. The team plays better offensively and defensively. They're a totally different team. and they play better basketball. When Luka is in the lineup, you're taking away what Austin Reeves' his biggest attribute, which is attacking. You take that away because Luka is controlling the ball. Austin Reeves is not a good off-the-ball player, basketball player. He has to have the ball in his hands to be effective. He can't do that with Luka on the floor. So the Lakers organization has to figure out what they're going to do. We know they're not going to trade Luka. You just sign him to a max extension. You sign Austin Reeves to a max extension. They're gonna have to move on for one of them. And fortunately, the one that they're going to have to move away from to win a championship is going to have to be Austin Reeves. They're not going to win one with both of them. Because I watched the games, and I watched Kwame Brown break down the Lakers and Portland game when Drew Holiday was dissecting our defense. And he broke it down to a T. And the lack of a defensive adjustments by J.J. Redick was just mind-boggling to me. When you're just supposed to be this great basketball mind and you can't figure out simple defenses. Like guarding a pick and roll, for example. You got two guys, you got one play, you had two guys jumping off the screen. Drew just dribbled around DeAndre Ayton, got down the lane, and got an easy layup. There was no help side defense. Two, they cloud the lane. He'll get around, do his veteran bump, hit a fadeaway over Austin Reeves, and one. Third time, he'd get down to the lane. They close it. Simple pass out to the corner, wide open three.
Yeah.
3 straight possessions. And it's like you cannot, you're an NBA level head coach. You cannot figure out simple reads like this on an NBA level.
Well, so here's the issue with your Lakers, man. It's a clown show. It's a circus. It's got a lot of clowns in there. Luka is one of them. J.J. Redick is one. Palinka is one. LeBron is one. Bronny is one. It's just a lot of clowns there. And it's just going to be a circus as long as they all are there. Like you said that y'all could get a ring. You can't get one with Reeves and Luka. Even if you get rid of Reeves and get somebody else in there, you can't get one with Luka. Like you just can't, dog. Like it. Listen, dude. The defensive side of the ball is so important, and he just is. I mean, he's the worst liability I've ever seen defensively since Steve Nash, and Steve Nash was better than him defensively. Like Luka is horrible. So you got that. Then you got the fact that once you put that smoke on him, he's an overweight point guard that shouldn't be a point guard. He should be a small forward. He's a fat point guard, a skinny fat point guard that once you put that pressure on him full court with somebody and you don't go for his pump fake, that's what OKC did. What was so disciplined last night. Every pump fake he tried to do, no one went for his pump fake. So all his upper unders and him getting you off your feet and jumping into your body, getting the and one, and him being able to do his reverse pivots, when after he pump fake and get you out, he couldn't do none of that. Only thing he could do was drive, stop, pump fake, and have to pass the ball out because he couldn't do those fat moves in the air. I mean, they had him locked up, and it's a lot of teams that got the personnel to do it. They just need the blueprint. He got exposed in Dallas against Boston. They did it. OKC did it last night. Whoever put them out in the playoffs, Minnesota, they did it. Like it's going to keep happening unless the NBA steps in and get him some type of star treatment where you can't touch him because they want him to win. That's the only way he can win. The NBA is going to have to hand walk him to the finals and get him through it. That's the only way. It can't happen with pure basketball. It just can't, man. But I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not in the cards for the Lakers, dog. You can't win with Luka, dog. That's why Dallas realized that and was like, we're not giving him no money. We want out. We want out. You just can't do it with Luka. You can't. You just can't, man. All right, y'all. I'm almost at 3 hours, man. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. Hit the like button right now. If y'all came in late, man, y'all might want to go and watch this stream from the beginning. It was it was a pretty interesting hypothetical we got into, man. It was pretty good, man. But I appreciate everybody sticking with me. Yeah, what's up? LeBron is the GOAT. Zoe, great show. Yeah, I agree. Was a good show. What's tomorrow? Friday. We'll be here with the full panel tomorrow, y'all. We'll be here with the full panel tomorrow. Rich said, what's my thoughts on the Rockets so far? I'm impressed. I like what they got. I like to see the growth of Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd. I like to see that growth. Kevin Durant is really the person I want to critique the most when they struggle. And it's because Kevin Durant has trusted and relied on his mid-range pull-up and his post fadeaway so much that that's all he goes to. And every time he gets the ball in the post, I'm thinking it's the fadeaway. I know it's the fadeaway. And I want to see him try to get to the hole out of the post more often. I want to see him utilize an up and under. I want to see him try to drop step, try to do something other than a post fadeaway as soon as you get it. I just hate it. I hate Kevin Durant on the ball at the top of the key using a high screen roll like a point forward because I hate his decision making out of double teams. Like it's almost like his hands are so long or his fingers are long. I hate all his passes out of double teams now. I'm scared every time it's gonna get picked off. Right. And I hate him trying to dribble at the top of the key and utilize a high screen and roll when there's a defender all the way in his hip because he's so long and tall. When the defender get low and get into his hip, it's almost like there's on his knee. And it's like, and the physicality they allow on Kevin Durant, I'm like, dude, like you trying to dribble, penetrate off the screen and roll. It ain't where you just too long and the ball got too far to travel with your dribble. And he keeps doing it and he keeps racking up turnovers. I'm like, when is he going to realize that he's got so much in his bag that he could do something else? When did he fall in love with trying to play like LeBron and utilize the high screen and roll? So when they do that more often than they do something else, they get in a lot of trouble. And most of the times when they play good contenders, playoff teams, that's what I end up seeing. Right. So that's the part that I'm frustrated about. But the part I am impressed about is it's different from Phoenix because Phoenix was such a trick bag that I don't mind if you get in a dogfight with a contender and you win some and you lose some. But that was the fact that they was in a dogfight regardless who they played. They could play the Charlotte Hornets. Like Phoenix lost to Charlotte a lot of times since KD was there. They would play Charlotte, LaMelo would give them the works. They'll play some other team. I'm like, dude, every time I watch them playing, it looked like it's hard to. Why is it so hard? Like, it's not that hard to score. Especially when you got these type of players. And that's what I was saying with Phoenix. And I'm at least the teams that Houston is supposed to beat, they're beating and they're beating them convincingly. So that's the part I'm impressed with. That's probably come from the mental toughness of Udoka. But when they play these contenders, in order for me to be overall impressed with the Rockets, they got to start beating those contenders. And they went into overtime with OKC in game 1 this season and could have won that game. But once again, those things that I talked about with Kevin Durant that frustrates me is what actually got them in trouble. So that's my thoughts on the Rockets, man. But I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.